money ain't the same nowadays. A lot of niggas ain't the same nowadays. Flip game ain't the same nowadays. No, nothing ain't the same nowadays. Chasing money ain't the same nowadays. A lot of niggas ain't the same nowadays. Flip game ain't the same nowadays. No, nothing ain't the same nowadays. 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 Nowadays.
Yeah, we're back. Welcome to Nowadays with your host, Seldom Seen. We took a 2-week hiatus? I think it was about 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
All right, in the house with me tonight, I have a few special guests. Hopefully we have another one coming along tonight. I have, as usual, my brother, Blacksmith 24/7.
Yo.
Hold up. I got to mute it. What's up? What we going to call you today, man? What is it?
You can call me Quest.
All right, we got Quest in the house. Say what's up to the family, Quest.
How y'all doing out there, y'all? It's MC Quest. You know, these brothers is live. I'm telling you. All the way live.
All right, now we've been away for a while. I've been trying to get my nowadays, huh? Been trying to get my nowadays back on track.
New show.
Trying to see what was going on, man. We were going to take a different direction. Most of my topics we were going to switch over to the urban focus because it deals with more of the community, more of helping and trying to reach out to everybody and let them know what this is all about. Nowadays, again, is comparing the past to the present, but I also have some topics that I like to talk about and discuss. And since I had a little hiatus, man, some things that have been on my mind, I'll probably just go in and just blab a lot. That's me. Sometimes I'm real quiet, and people think that I'm really quiet, but when it comes out, it just all comes out at one time, and then I go back to being quiet again. But today's topic, man, is going to be the truth serum.
Uh-oh.
All right, and the truth serum is, it is what it is. It's what it sounds like. A lot of us, again, we have a hard time telling our truths, and I don't know. There's a lot of contradictions going on out here as far as family, friends, what you see in the past, what you see now, and things change. I don't have a problem telling my truth. That's why I'm willing to go first. A lot of times, especially with our children. Just for instance, like when you grow up, man, you have aunties and uncles, man, that you think are the sweetest people, and then you grow up, you find out they was doing all kind of shit when you were kids, right? And it's like, damn, you never knew that. So it's the same thing. It's like we all have these little secrets, man, or maybe they just grow up. Everybody, we all do things when we're younger. And as you grow, you should change. You should change for the better. So I don't hold anything against them, but it's more as like, hey, man, these are some things that we were unaware of. And it was more like they made it seem as if they did nothing wrong. And I guess that's one thing I don't do with my children. I've always tried to speak to them and tell them that, hey, I'm not perfect. I explain my wrongdoings and things that I've done so they are able to learn from them. Hopefully they learn from them and don't follow my same footsteps. I tell them I'm going to walk this path and I'm going to give you the blueprint. I'm going to tell you which path to walk. All of my mistakes, you don't take that path, man. You skip over that. And you go to plan B. So all of my good steps, you follow those. The bad ones that I'm telling you to stay away from it, or you're going to get the same outcome. Now, that is what I respect from my mom, too. My mom also told us a lot of things. I don't know if she told us everything, but she was always up front with us, always able to tell us what was going on. So, again, I never looked at my mom as if she was this innocent lady who did nothing wrong. Now, again, I had aunts and uncles that I thought were perfect. And again, you grow older and it's like, hey, I ain't what's his name's over here doing that. So,
Yep.
So I never wanted to put my children in that position where it was like, hey, Dad, you ain't telling us that you was out here doing all this shit. So they know the truth. They know me. And hopefully they understand where I'm coming from. And for me, I was like, if I explain these things to them, then maybe they'll be, more open with me and more inclined to tell me what they're doing. And that way we don't have any secrets. Because like I've always told them, hey, if you keep a secret from me, then there's no way I can help you. Of course, if you do something wrong, I'm going to be upset with you, man. But what is that? That doesn't mean that I'm going to stop loving you or I won't help you. I just need to know the truth so I can better assist you, man, so we can get through this together. So that's me. the truth serum. So I'm going to get into a lot of topics today. I know some people aren't going to like some of the topics I'm going to touch on, and we may not have a lot of time to get through all the topics. Again, if other special guests come through, it might turn into more like a family reunion, man, and we might start talking about the past and some other things, and you guys, again, will get to know who I am, all the things I've gone through, and hear some of my quests, as my man MC Quest over here, my trials and tribulations throughout these 50 years. I'll be 50 next month. So, it's been a blessing. It's been some ups and downs, but yeah, I think I'd do it again, man. It was all right with me. What you think about that, Blacksmith?
Yeah, definitely all right with me. I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, man, but I've always said it on the show. I have no regrets as far as my life. I am one who can say I don't regret nothing that happened in my life.
Right.
Could I change some of it? Yes, I could have changed some, did something different, but I don't regret it because, everything that happened in my life, good, bad, everything helped mold me and shape me into the man that I am today. So that's why I don't have any regrets about it. And like you said, I'd do it all over again. But next time, maybe I'll do it a little slower so I can enjoy it a little more.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how slow you could do it, man. It just, hey, truthfully, man, I don't even know where 50 years went. It's like, damn, I turn around, it's like 50. Mm-hmm. It's hard it's really kind of hard to swallow, man. I don't know where, it's like 50 years, really? It seems like it's only been like 20, and it seems like 20 years, man. I don't know where those other 30 went. So it's weird, man. How about you, Quest? How have your 50 been, man?
Well, my mind say, hey, man, you still 20. But your body say, right. You 50. And, it's been a long journey, man. I think we passed a lot of statistics, We done raised our kids to where most of them are grown now, and they're adults. And it's like, wow, where did all the time go?
Right.
So, you hear people say, oh, life is short. You don't understand that until you get older and see how fast time is flying. Yep. But we see a lot of, youngsters that ain't making it to where we at. So we blessed, man.
So true. So true, man.
And I appreciate, everything that's going on now. I'm more humble now as the older I get, instead of being more combative. I listen to not answer, but I listen to understand now. Versus, you don't know everything. You're still learning. And the youngsters can teach us stuff. The older brothers can teach us stuff. And the brothers our age can teach us things, And I'm constantly learning, man. Learning about this thing called life,
That's right. Even at 50, still learning. Yep. And the people need to understand that it's never too late. You're never too old to learn. Life is just a process. I mean, you should be constantly learning. Right. What else are you going to do? And I tell my children this, as far as them, sometimes I watch them and they're wondering what this thing life is all about. And like I tell them, I don't know. Hey, man, I don't have that answer. I don't think anyone does. We're all guessing. I can only tell you how to deal with it. I can only tell you how to get through it. And again, there's nothing you can do about it. So just live. Whatever happens, man, pick up the pieces and keep it moving. There's no way you're going to know the final outcome. So the only thing you can do is live for today, plan for tomorrow, man, and work your plan. And that's it. Nothing is guaranteed out here.
Yeah, and I've always found myself telling my kids, life is what you make it. What you put into it is what you're going to get out of it.
Right.
So if you're not putting nothing into it, don't expect nothing. Right. What you do, how you do it is how, your life is going to change and move and progress as you get older. Yep. I'm constantly telling my kids, hey, 5 years ago by just like that. Before you know it, you went from being 5 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30. Right. And if you haven't been doing nothing, you're going to look back at your life and be like, well, damn, what did I do these past 30? What have I done? Yeah.
I mean, I can just imagine. I've done a lot.
Exactly.
I'm still looking by like, hey, well, it's so much more I wanted to do. So I'm kind of mad that I didn't get an opportunity to do all the rest of the crap I wanted to do, man.
Right.
And that's what I was doing. I was actually thinking about that the other day. I said, man, me, being the youngest out of the crew, before Sel, shouts out to Sel, before he came along, I was the youngest out the crew. And to me, I've always said, and I say it to the day I die, it's a blessing, growing up, being around, y'all, the older guys, because it helped me mature at a younger age, helped me get a lot of the foolish stuff out of my system at a younger age.
Right.
So as I started to get older, it was like, man, that's been there, done that. Like it like y'all actually helped mold me and prepare me for life sooner than I should have. When I should have been running around and acting wild, I was starting to mellow out. Was starting to mature and be like, hey, okay, now it's time to get serious with life.
Right.
Think about longevity, think about the future. When I should have been still out here acting a fool.
Yep.
So, now I always, respect y'all and thank y'all for that.
Hey, man, it's one hand wash the other. And also you being the youngest brother out of the four of us, that's what our oldest brother taught me. And, always taught me, and he told me to pass it down. So what he did for me, I just did for my younger brother. I just watched and learned. And that's what we all said to each other. Hey, whatever you see me doing, man, you do it for the next one up under you. So my older brother took care of me, so I had to make sure, I was there for my younger one, teaching him everything that I know. All of my mistakes, the same thing. Hey, man, you can't do what I'm doing. If so, I got to come and check you, man. It was my job to make sure he was okay. And that's how we were taught. That's how we were raised. So, and as a kid, hell, being forced to do it as a kid, you don't like it. But as you get older, it's like, hey, it becomes second nature to you, man. And now it's just like, hey, this is my little brother. And I know I got to do whatever it takes, to protect this guy, man. So that's how we went through life. That's how we grew up. And that's how we just pass it down. Same thing I tell my children. The oldest are supposed to look after the younger guys, man. And the younger ones, you have to pay attention to the older ones. Watch what they're doing. Make sure you don't make the same mistakes. And then when you get a younger brother or younger sibling, you have to return the favor.
Right.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand that as a youngster. I just thought, he just, bibbing and blabbing. But as I got older, experience is the best teacher. You can't tell somebody about something you ain't been through. You know what I mean? Like, and it's good to have experiences. It makes you stronger in life.
Exactly.
We don't know that when we're going through it. It just be like crazy, But as we get older, we realize and look back, like, yeah, man, I'm trying to tell you this and that. And they're like, he just jibbed out. I know more than him. I'm in my third year in college, and he just high school. He don't know nothing. But see, it's I believe in, street knowledge, book knowledge, school knowledge too. But you combine them together, it makes you even stronger.
That's the best, having the best of both worlds.
Right.
Yeah. That's what I actually went through that this past week. I ain't gonna say too much, go into too much detail, but we was going through that, at our job. We're going through contract negotiations right now, and me being president of the union, I'm involved in that. And I actually had to tell management that, so you look at us like we beneath y'all. So, but you don't know my background. You don't know my history. You don't know my story. You don't know my life. I probably can do your job better than you because I got something you don't. I got book smarts and street smarts, something you know nothing about. I have the best of both worlds, without telling them too much of my business or my upbringing or whatever. It's like, hey, you just don't know. I like you really
we
don't.
Got an early call.
You don't know.
Let me see if I can answer this. Go ahead, keep talking.
Callers already.
See if I can get this.
But it's, to me, I kind of like that. I like being the underdog. I like people doubt me. That's why I like to sit and just be quiet. I sit and observe everything that goes on.
Right.
Soak it all in and, just watch. I learned that at a young age.
We have HD Wells on the line. Can you hear us?
That's what I'm saying.
Uh-oh.
I can't hear you on the radio.
You can't hear us on the radio?
I couldn't hear y'all at all. First I heard them for like 10 minutes, and then went to that. Then went to blank.
Oh, you know what? Let me see, man. It might be
You went to.
maybe my software.
Just checking. I just making sure I check it and make sure it's going out. I just try to I'm saying call and let you know.
All right, if you can't hear us, you do know you can go to the YouTube page, see the CND Radio on YouTube.
Is it working?
We're live.
You muted. You muted. Can't hear yourself.
Oh, damn.
You
There
muted.
you go.
There you go.
Mr. Granger, you can hear me now? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, let me start the station over, but you can go to our YouTube page, C2C Indie Radio, so you also can listen to it on YouTube. If you're on our app, then you can go to the Talk Sports station.
That's what I went to a minute.
Yeah. Well, stay on it. I'm gonna tell you right now, it should come on.
Okay, I gotta click back on it now. All right.
Okay, yeah, I see it moving, so it should be broadcasting right now. Sorry about that. Whoever's listening to us on the C2C Indie Radio app, it is now running on the radio station. Thanks for calling in, H. Appreciate it, man, because I didn't even know.
There you go. Yeah.
Yep. You welcome. All right, later, man.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, H.
Now everybody what up? All right.
Yeah, that's family right there. Me, H.G. Wells, Blacksmith 24/7 MC Quest. This goes back 30 years right here, man.
Wow.
This is like, it's real crazy. It's like 30 plus over here. And before I get into the topics, I just want to say one more thing that Quest was, yeah, you get the feedback? Is that me?
I don't know where it came from.
Might be the phone.
But we all right.
Yeah, so that was Quest was speaking on about children, being young, and I guess in college or thinking they know more, but he was saying experience, is the best teaching. Experience is what counts, and that's what I explained to my child, especially my 16-year-old. I have two 16-year-old sons. The one just turned 17, and one's 16 right here, and I explained to him. A lot of times he's trying to tell me things, and it's like, hey, look, let's do some math, man. Take the 16 and multiply it by 3. You only have 48. It's like, so I lived your life 3 times. I'm like, that's what you, so then I think he gets it in more perspective when I put it like that. It's like, so I've lived you 3 times.
Right.
So what do you think that I've seen in those 3 years, those 3 times your lifetime?
A lot of experience, man.
Right, compared to you seeing it once. And I'm like, so everything you've seen, I've seen at least 3 times.
Right.
And then I think it kind of sinks in and they get it. It's not that I think I know everything, but because I've lived longer than you, it's obvious that I've had to see more than you. Right. I've had to experience more than you.
Right.
So the things that I'm telling you are my experiences. So you have to listen to me. You have to believe it for face value.
Mm-hmm. Right. And different generation too. It's like they coming up in a technical, a lot of technology in this generation. Yeah. We didn't have a lot of technology. A lot of our stuff was hands-on.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So we can probably show them how to throw some brakes on a car. They can probably show us how to, download a movie or something.
Right.
Just something different.
Yep.
So we can gain a lot of knowledge from the youngsters, and we never count them out because they are the future, and they, 20 years, 30 years down the line for them, it's gonna be like the youngsters gonna be.
History repeats itself.
Yeah, history repeats itself. Yeah.
That's what my kids used to always call me, a detective. It's like, no, I know what you're going to do before you do it because I done already done it. So
that's right.
I already been there, done that. So you can't, try to get one over on me. I already been there. I done snuck out of the house. I done snuck in the house. I done did all of that. So you can't get that, You might get it past me now because now I go to sleep about 8, 9 o'clock. And I go to sleep a little earlier. Right. But, I mean, for the most part, I always try to teach my kids mainly to stick together. Right. Just because that's how I was raised. I said anybody that know me and my brothers, they know it was us. The 4 of us, and my moms. We was all we had, and that's... To me, that was all I needed to survive. You know what I mean? That was it. As long as I had them, hey, I could face the world. There wasn't nothing that I couldn't handle, nothing I couldn't face. Because I knew,
I felt the same way.
Like you were saying, the guarantees. I knew I had my guarantees with me. So it was like, hey, wasn't nothing that I couldn't accomplish or felt that I couldn't do.
Right.
Because I always had a good support behind me, and so I would tell everybody, hey, I say I'm one of the lucky ones, man. I feel I'm lucky. I'm blessed.
That's what it take, though. You know, is support. I think support is a big thing, and if you don't have it, you're pretty much freestyling, and you know, no structure. You know, I think structure is very important. You had structure. That's why, you know, things fall in place the way they're supposed to, because, you know, you have somebody putting that structure there for you. Yeah, it might be, you know, seem bad at the time, but eventually down the line, you know, that structure is going to pay off because somebody older than you done been there, been through your path already. Yeah. You know, whether it's kids or relationships or working or whatever, you know, somebody done did that before you, always, you know, and people be like, oh, somebody always worse off than you. And that's true, you know, so don't think everything is just all bad and just your world crumbling or whatever. You know, you're going to come out of it just, you know, due time, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's
again, it goes back to, like I said earlier, is what you put in it.
Yeah.
What you put in. So, you know, if you're not putting in the work to try and get yourself out of a bad situation, then you're never going to get out of that situation.
right.
You gotta put the work in. You know, that was one thing I always, to this day, stress to my kids. You know, nothing in this world is handed to you. Right. You definitely gotta work and fight for what you want.
Right.
Right.
You know.
Look, we're gonna hop off topic real quick, man, because I know if one of my other guests come through, this is exactly what it's going to turn into, some teachable moments, you know, because we're going to relive some past moments, man, and most of them are teachable moments. Because, again, this is something that the art that I'm doing right now is what I've learned from him. You know, I picked up this craft watching him and my other manager who, Quest, I think that, it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago when we spoke about, you know, our manager being killed. Same way that George Floyd was killed. And this was, again, 30 years ago, man.
Yeah.
So this is like...
This the anniversary.
This is nothing new to us.
October the 12th would be the anniversary of that, you know, and it'd be,
31?
95,
Yep.
31
31
years.
Yeah,
Wow.
So it's 31 years
Seemed
ago,
like
man,
yesterday.
the same thing happened to us, you know, and kind of put a halt, I mean, just really put a dent in my career, man, as far as a kid trying to come up, you know, and having people believe in me and taking my music, man, you know, having it played on the radio, having me open up shows, and then all of a sudden you just have that taken away, you know, by a senseless act. You know, so a lot of times you go through life, man, and sometimes you get thrown curveballs that are just out of your control, and you just have to figure it out. Now, Blacksmith, you talked about your job, and this is what I wanted to go into tonight, talking about, you know, a lot of touchy subjects. We're not really, from what I've been reading on YouTube, we can't really talk about the V word, man, but we can call it the jab. So we're going to keep it with the jab. Okay. A lot of, and again, I'm not judging anyone, man. To each his own. I feel like this is your body. You have a right to do whatever you want to do with yours. If you want to get the vaccine, that's on you. And if you don't, that's your choice.
The jab.
Right. So, yeah. I'm already effing up. So if you want to get the jab, that's your choice. If you choose not to, it's your choice. That's my opinion. You know, there's not the opinion of C2C and D Radio or Blacksmith or anyone else. These are Seldom Seen's opinions. So I have a friend who works in a federal building. Well, she works from home, actually, but she works for the federal government, and they're mandating that all workers get the jab, regardless if they work from home or if they're in the office. So I don't understand why someone who works from home is mandated to get it when you're not around anyone else. And the flip side to that is that you can go online and look these things up. We have a government here that is mandating everyone else to take this jab, but they're excluded from being mandated. So that doesn't sit right with me when you say that everybody else, you have to, but hey, we don't have to. We will do it, but we don't have to. So I'm kind of lost on that, man. Yeah. And then on the flip side of that, every illegal alien that comes into this country, man, and anyone on welfare is also not mandated. So I'm lost.
That's,
you know?
Yeah. You know, and I'm thinking about it too, like the jab. You know, just a jab anyway, and no jab is good. Somebody jab you in the chest. You know, not saying that it's not good. It's intended for good. Don't get me wrong. But it still is your choice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And me personally, I haven't got the jab yet. My wife has got the jab, but I think finish your trial on this. Let's see what's going on with this first. I'm still doing my precautions and things I have to do. And I get tested every week with my job. They test us, and that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, I think it's more to it.
Right.
I'm overthinking the box. I'm not just thinking, oh yeah, jab. People like, I love you. Why you having this and that? Because that's my choice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like saying, go out and get it because everybody else did. Okay.
Right.
But let me go at my pace because I always been like that. I always been slow at doing things, and whether it was getting the new sneakers or the flat screen TV or whatever, I always took my time getting stuff, And this right here, I understand it's a health issue. It's a health crisis in the world. But why all them nurses and doctors saying, hey, we're not getting the jab, and all these hospitals?
But they don't show that as much.
Yeah, they're not publicizing that. But if doctors and nurses saying, "Hey, I'm not getting the jab," and they willing to lose $100,000 a year because of the jab, like what's going on here?
My thing is, like you just said, when they go get it, everybody doing it, this and that. What was that old saying? If so and so jump off a bridge, you gonna jump off too,
right?
So,
and that's what I was. That's the example I was going to give. Blacksmith, like Questas over here was saying. There's nothing wrong with being cautious.
Right.
I don't want to participate in your experiment or your trial period, if you want to call it that. Maybe I want to sit back and see what happens first.
Right.
Just like as kids, I've always been the cautious one. Exactly. If it's something dangerous, everybody want to do it. Hey, let me see you do it first. I'm not going to be the first one. See? Right. So, hey, let me sit back. If you make it, then I might be like, oh, okay.
Right. This might be a bad example. Everybody doing crack, so you go do crack.
Exactly.
But like I know I'm not doing no crack.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's the same concept almost in a sense.
It's like everybody doing that
water. Y'all just made this stuff up. Yeah, y'all been researching it for years or whatever, but it was for animals. And now you're switching it to humans. You know what I'm saying? So this has to be more sensitive, It has to be more work done with this. You can't just throw something in somebody's system, reprogramming their blood.
Exactly. You
know what I'm saying? Because I'm
still stuck on the mandate part. Again, if it's mandated, that means everyone. If it's a pandemic and it's so tragic and hey, it's so it's what's the word, contagious, everyone means everyone. Right. Why wouldn't your office be mandated, and you guys are supposed to be the ones, controlling the government. Your job is the most important. So if you get sick and die,
you supposed to lead by example.
Right.
There you go.
Perfect example.
But like you just said, it's supposed to be a mandate for everyone and everything.
Right.
Now, I done had this discussion at work. Mentioned it before. I said everybody first happened. They were saying household pets, animals was getting it. Okay, so what about these animals? You jabbing these animals?
Right, because they can still pass it
exactly.
to you.
That's my point. It's just like everybody forgot about that from in the beginning when they was saying cats and dogs was getting it.
Well,
was testing positive.
Hey man, and they wonder why everybody is so leery of getting it. The people who are holding out, because if you're paying attention. And again, don't take my word for face value. Just go back, do your research, and look it up. Or you can call in and we can have our little discussion or debate, however you guys choose to do it. In the beginning, Dr. Fauci said that, if you take the jab, you wouldn't get sick. There's no way for you to get sick.
Exactly.
Then all of a sudden people were still getting sick and they changed the tune. Well, now you'll get sick, but it'll prevent you from going to the hospital. It'll lessen the blow. So you went from not being able to catch it again to now you still can catch it. Now it lessens the blow.
And that's not even true because there was people who had it who still ended up in the hospital.
See, now you even change it. Now you keep moving the goalposts.
Now you need a booster.
And that's the reason. That's the reason for the hesitation, right?
Yes, exactly.
Because people that got the jab can still
get sick and still pass
it. And still pass it. So what is the point of getting it?
I'm trying to figure it out, man.
Because people that your immune system already can fight. Bam, bam, bam,
and that's what they said. Your natural immune
you're
system
lowering your immune
stronger.
system once you get the jab because now you're relying on that that serum
Yep.
to fight off, whatever it is, instead of your own natural.
Right.
God gave us all the natural stuff to fight this. And over 90% of the people that catch it, they okay. It's the people
Are getting sick.
the ones that's
right.
getting sick or whatever. I'm not saying, everything's perfect. Nothing's perfect.
Exactly.
But your own body can fight this thing, and I know dozens and dozens of people that had it, and they are, they survived and they're fine right now without the jab. But then they run and get the jab because work say get it.
Now,
I think to me,
worse off.
my opinion, I think it's just a money thing.
Of course.
It's about money. It really has nothing to do with health. To me, that's my opinion. It's not opinion of anybody else here, or whatever. I think it's a money thing. It's not, health. Because, like they say, get the flu shot. Why you got it? It's not a cure. First of all, it's not a cure. If it was a cure, that might be something different. But, and then, people that's giving you the stuff is not liable if anything go wrong with it.
Right.
That's another thing.
Right.
Like,
They're not liable for any jabs or any medications they give you. They are not liable.
They're not liable. So it still goes back to your decision, but they forcing you now to work. Like, and it's different times now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you adjust to the times or whatever. But come on, man. It's
Again, why are people not able to sit back? If I choose to take a chance and say, hey, I'd rather wait it out. If I get sick, okay, it's on me, right?
right.
Taking away people's freedom of choice.
That's my option.
Right.
Same thing they're doing with abortion.
Right.
Now you can't get an abortion if you get it. Even
in Texas,
if you're raped or
exactly.
molestation by a family member,
Yes.
you still cannot get an abortion.
Yes,
Wow.
the state of Texas passed that abortion law. Once the baby
Incest,
has a
rape,
heartbeat,
too bad.
and a heartbeat is normally at 6 weeks.
Right.
So once that baby has a heartbeat, now you can no longer go get an abortion.
I mean, I'm
So
not
you
like
telling these women, like you said, who if they've been raped, that they have to carry their rapist baby.
that's wild. That's
You know?
wild, right there.
Exactly.
Now,
That's crazy.
Let's speak the truth. This is the truth, sir. This is what I always tell people. Who do you think that law applies to? Because you think a rich person gets raped or anything happen, you think they're not getting an abortion?
They getting it.
So again, man, who does that law apply to? You think I can't, if I'm
it's
rich,
the-
I can't go to my private doctor and have an abortion done?
You can have it.
So let's stop playing these games.
It's
These
more
laws
of a-
are strictly for the underprivileged.
Right.
Because remember, they said they was even going to charge Uber drivers, anybody who took you. So let's say,
Yeah.
your girl got raped. She didn't want you to know. She came to me and wanted me to take her to go get an abortion so you wouldn't find out. I go take her, I can get charged too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Person that take them can also be brought up on charges.
Come on now.
It's wild, man.
Yeah.
It's too complex.
And we, the people, are allowing it. There's a lot of things on my mind, and it's been bothering me. Again, I've always been the one to sit back and I'm thinking, and it's just like, hey, man, it doesn't make sense. So
Right.
I'm always wondering, like, am I the only one who thinks this way? Am I the only one looking at this saying, like, hey, something's missing? Something's missing here,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
And if you get that inclination, then, like they say, if it walks like a duck, quack like a duck, man, it's a duck.
That's right.
Right? And my brother used to tell me too, sometimes I let things slide and he'll, like, let's say something is obvious, is blatant in your face, and he'll say, hey, man, you see it. What are you second guessing? He's like, you see it, right? And it's like, yeah. He's like, okay. There's no what ifs or maybe, you see it. Right. So it is what it is. So I've learned to take that and yeah, man, I apply it and it's worked. But this government, I don't know who's in control. I'm still guessing. Now, you hear all of these myths and conspiracy theories. I don't know who knows, but I know there's a lot of things out here. I don't know who's controlling this, and I know that we, the people, pretty much are being controlled. They keep us busy, man, fighting each other. A lot of times, a lot of this stuff goes on because you have a race war. Now you have a sex war now if you're gay or straight. Now they just have us battling each other in all different aspects of life to keep us busy from really seeing the truth and fighting against, fighting for the truth. As long as we're fighting each other, we would never get together and overthrow what's going on. And they know that, and that's part of the game.
Yep, throw a wrench in the program.
Right.
But, you know, see, I work in the school system, and these kids, you know, they're not doing social distancing no more. They packing these kids on the bus and this and that, classroom. And a lot of kids don't understand the severity of, you know, the virus and things like that. And, you know, I constantly myself preach to them, you know, you don't want to bring that stuff home, this and that. But, well, none of us know really what's going on. We still like in the dark on a lot of this stuff. But, you know, the school system is like a major thing. These kids are not vaccinated. A certain age, I think, what is it, down to
12,
11 and
now.
under? 11 and under not vaccinated.
12
Now
coming out.
they finna approve the ones for 5 to 11.
Okay, now
So
think
they
about
to
it.
get approved.
5 to 11. Then them kids got snotty nose. They snap their nose, wipe their, touch
All day.
everything. They ain't washing their hands. They this and that. That's the most. I'm not gonna say nastiest group, but you know, kids. I'm not gonna put kids like that, but they not cautious enough. Maybe I should say that they're not as cautious as the adults. But you know, put all this pressure on the adults first. But I think, you know, the babies. You know, really, if y'all really trying to push this, why y'all not pushing on the babies? To me, it seems like a bigger agenda. You know, as far as like, oh, let's get the old people first. Let's this and that.
Yeah.
You know, you see all these conspiracy theories. Oh, yeah, you know, within 5-6 years, everybody that did that is gonna be gone and this and that. You know, I don't know, but I don't put it past nothing. You know, as the older you get, the more skeptical you are of things. You know. And that, I'm kind of skeptic, and I pray that, you know, things just go right, you know, and take care of yourself, you know, eat right and get your natural vitamins and minerals.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
That's what
for
it
your
is,
immune
yep.
system to fight off. You know, they say the vitamin C, D, zinc, or whatever. You know, I'm not a doctor, but it's natural remedies to everything, you know. And if you don't believe in the vaccine, at least follow your precautions and, you know, keep your immune system strong. So if you do end up contracting this thing, you know, because I think it's man-made to be first, you know, biological warfare,
Right.
if you ask me, you know, and they, you know, the natural remedy to fight it off, you know, is natural vitamins and eating right and minerals and just keep your immune system up.
And that is exactly what Hippocrates stated. He said, let food be thy medicine, let medicine be thy food. And he stated that for a reason.
Right.
Your food is your medicine. If you eat the right foods, it would actually heal you and take care of your body. You put junk in, you get junk out.
Right.
A lot of things, a lot of foods that we eat is not made for our bodies. Our bodies are naturally, you know, it's not made to process those kind of foods, especially processed foods.
Right.
And that is really what is killing Americans. There are a lot of foods, man, that are in the United States that other countries have banned. And it's weird. Just like the red dye that we see in all of our sodas and Hawaiian Punch, that red dye is banned in other countries because it's known to cause cancer.
Oh.
But yet we keep it over here all day, every day. You know, and that's just one out of thousands, man, that we allow our manufacturers to put into their products for money.
Big business.
And we talked about it before, as far as, let's take, you know, back in the days when, you know, my grandmother died, was 93, 94 years old. And back when we grew up, they was cooking with lard, you know, the Crisco.
Yeah.
You know, we was, you know, it was pork galore.
Yeah.
But you ain't heard of obesity, diabetes. Wasn't none of that really going on with the food that we ate back then.
Right.
It's more of it now. I mean, granted, yeah, a lot of it has to do with we was ripping and running. We was out here playing. So, you know, which a lot of these kids don't. They phone or game. You know, they got finger muscles is what I call them now.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all. They just,
Get carpal tunnel after
Yeah.
right.
Hey, I was telling my
Yeah.
son that.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't have carpal tunnel, homie.
you know, we ran around. You know, all day, every day. Shit, we was mad when we had to come in the house.
Yeah.
Shit, you get kids, they mad when you tell them to go outside.
Right. Isn't that something?
It really is.
I mean, it was, I get it. It was different times, but the food was also different. Food was more
Definitely the food.
fresh.
My opinion is
Yes, it was
definitely
more
the
fresh
food.
back then, more healthier. Even like I said, even shit, you know, all the hog maws and chitlins people was eating.
Still living to be 70,
Exactly.
80, 90
Yeah,
years
yeah.
old.
We got
Exactly.
what, two aunts in their 90s?
Right
Shoot,
now,
they want
yeah.
to be
Chicken leg
93.
up. Chicken leg look like a turkey leg.
Right.
They
Yeah,
put so much
no.
fluid
Yeah.
and sodium in the thing. You're like, man, this chicken leg so big, you know. And,
So much steroids in the food
yeah.
and stuff now.
And it's
Yeah.
going into our bodies,
Right.
in our blood, you know. You know, you season it up. Yeah, it tastes good, you know. Back in the days, my grandfather used to cook raccoon and squirrel and all this stuff. And I'm like, ooh, turtle patties and all
Grandfather
that.
must be from the South, man.
Yeah,
figured that.
it was good. And he lived, even though, you know, not to put him out there, drink a quart of vodka every day, he still lived to be like almost 90. See what I'm saying? And he ate all that
Yeah, exactly.
non-GMO, HMO food. You know, though he lived off the land. He
Right.
made his own liquor,
Yeah.
corn liquor or whatever. They
And-
call it
Hey, man, I've
moonshine.
been stressing this, and I can't stress it enough that you need to put a little garden in your backyard like my grandmother, like our grandmother did. Get your own little vegetables going. You don't have to have a full farm.
Right.
Hey, man, you just need the little basics, your greens,
Yeah.
you know, some peppers if you want it in there, your cucumbers.
Yep.
Tomatoes, anything that can make you a salad. You don't even have to go to the grocery store. Our grandmother just told us, hey, go out to the back, give me
Yeah.
some cucumbers, give me some greens. Hey, man, it was all back there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my speaking of grandmother, my grandmother used to live on Midland, and they had a just like down the hill. It was just swampland basically, but in the spring she would bring her tiller and this and that, and have a whole farm and had a whole family back there picking greens.
Yep.
You name it, she had it back there, and everybody got a piece of it. You know, you didn't have to go to the store to really get your
Right.
vegetables,
Yep.
cucumbers,
Right.
and watermelons.
Yeah, and that was
and
my
all that.
grandmother.
Yeah.
Her collard greens were so big, I used to be scared of them. Boy, they was for real. They
scared
it
of
looked like they'd eat you, man. Them,
man.
them things was big. She
Yeah.
she had some.
But they
remember
probably
them
the best ones.
Them
Right.
fans they used to have on the walls.
Yeah.
it was big like that.
Wow.
She had some big collard greens. I used to be scared of them
Yes.
things.
That's
boy.
another one of
Yeah.
those skills, man. I was explaining to my son that I could put in my back pocket that I've learned. You know, our grandmother taught me how to grow. So that's just one more skill that I can stick that in my back pocket. So every
Right.
summer I do the same thing. I plant my own vegetables. I've been doing it for the longest, and I will continue to do it. I try to encourage my brothers and families to do the same thing. It's just those little things save you from going to the store, and it's fresh.
Right.
You know what you put into it. So long as you don't have to get the chemical fertilizers, you can make your own
Organic
fertilizer.
and all this stuff, you know,
and,
like
and it's what you're putting into it. And it's the best thing, man. If you guys don't believe it's the food, again, you just mentioned your grandfather living to his 90s. My grandmother's 93. I have aunts in their 90s. I've had at least 6 friends I've known that died before 50.
right.
So I'm trying to figure out why are we, our generation, we're not making it to 60.
Because we being poisoned, man, by a whole lot of
You know,
different
they're
things.
saying what the life expectancy now is going up. It
It's
doesn't
supposed to-
say. I don't see it.
Right, they say what 75
Yeah.
because we got
For
new
who?
medicine and all this.
Right.
You know, we got the jab now
Technology
and
is
all
better.
this stuff. But you know,
But we're all dying younger.
yeah, and it's like, you know, what is it? You know, pharmaceutical companies are making more money than ever now. You know, whether it's pain
And that's what it's about.
or people, whatever
Plus,
people going through, they get medicated for. Some people had to just live through it. You
Right.
know, oh, my back hurt
Right.
for 1,000 years, but I made it through. You know what I'm saying? Now they run to the pharmaceuticals to solve that problem
Just
for
to
'em.
mask, to numb it up a little bit.
Yeah,
You're just
you know,
masking the
oh,
problem.
now I'm this and that, but that's why you hear so much of the prescription abuse now, and you know, the doctors is the big time.
Hey,
They get kicks back.
Chris,
They're big
Chris
time
Rock
dealers
said
now.
it.
That's
Chris
right.
Rock said it best. Said that ain't no money in no cure. The money is in the medicine to make you live with what you have.
Right.
right.
So you can maintain a life with what you have.
Right.
Right.
If I cure you, that's it. It's a one and done.
Yeah. Well, how am I make money off
Exactly.
you now? Like,
So
just
it's
like
not
you
in
know,
the cure,
you think
it's in the medicine.
the cops want to stop all the crime, or the hospital want everybody, like you said, like they come on, they won't have no job.
And again, where are we going here, man? It's like I'm not a big fan of medication, and I'm saying that if you're in a situation where, hey, you go to the hospital, you have to be, they have to give you something to numb you up, man, or put you to sleep. Of course, if you have to have a major surgery, there's no way you're gonna stay awake through some things. So sometimes you have to be medicated. So I get that. Myself, everything for me is like the last second. I will take the pain, man, until I absolutely have to get it. And that's just me. Because this is the problem I have with the jab. This is the problem I have with subscription, painkillers, all of that stuff. Every commercial you see, and I mean every commercial you see, they're blasting all the good things, what it does for you. Oh, it does this and that, and it does that. And then when it gets to the bad, you hear
side effects. Right? Make it blind.
Or they put it real tiny on the screen so you can barely read it. And my point is, why are you not being transparent with everything? Why don't you tell a person, hey, if you take this prescription drugs, it would do this for you, and now here's the bad. See, that's all I want. Tell me the whole story. When you go to a doctor, if you don't believe me,
let me decide.
The next time you go to your doctor and they say, here, take this prescription, this is what it does, just sit back and wait and see if they tell you what's bad.
Right.
They won't. You have to ask.
Hey,
so what are the side effects? And then watch their expression.
Right. Even like with the jab, they say, oh, it's just a little pain in your arm. You might feel a little tired. You might feel a little sick. Now, do you really think that that's the only side effects? And this thing is in your blood, which your blood runs through your whole body, all your organs and everything.
Exactly.
And if it's fighting this thing, what else is it fighting? You know what I'm saying? So I just want a little more research on this thing before I put my full 100%. Not saying that I don't have any confidence in it. I might be maybe 50 or 60 right now.
Right.
I'm not 100 yet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or close to 100 because it's just, that's just me, but it's a lot of other people. I'm not alone. You know what I'm saying? And
that's the government problem right now. They figuring out. They're trying to wonder, man, how can we get people to take this without forcing them to? They know this mandation shit not gonna.
It messing with your money.
Yeah, it's not gonna
your
fly.
Job.
And that's what I'm saying. That's the scare tactic of it. Yep. Oh, when you hear mandation, oh shit, they're gonna mandate me. I'm gonna lose my job. Like,
your money, man. You got bills and
you can't force me. And we were talking about it at work. You're trying to mandate me. You're trying to force me to take something that I don't want to. Right. Like you said earlier. That's like me telling, all right, well, you go ahead and smoke this crack then.
Right. Like, it ain't killed me
crack.
yet.
Right.
That's what they always say. Oh, I still got my limbs. Oh, the crack ain't killed me.
And again, man, transparency is all I'm asking for.
Right.
Tell me the good and the bad with it, because again, every prescription drug, there are side effects. And now guess what? You need a prescription for that side effect.
Yep. You need a prescription for that prescription.
Right. It just keeps going and going, man. So it's like, I can't be the only one that sees this. And most people just brush it off. Well, I was taking this and now they're saying my kidney is bad.
Yeah.
Really? Now what did they give you for your kidney problem? And then that causes another problem.
Right.
So this just goes on and on.
Now
for
I'm
you
taking
to keep,
10 pills and now I'm making like $1 billion industry, $1 trillion industry because of, all these different, it's like a domino effect, basically. It's
just so blatant in your face, man. It irritates me. It just makes me, like, I don't know, man. I just get so pissed off about it because it's like, hey, we as people, we have to see this. Again, if you want to, you can believe whatever you want to believe, but the facts are facts. Sometimes, like I was just saying earlier, it's in your face.
Yep.
So what don't you see?
Like, hello, it's right there.
Hey, I have a few people that I follow online, and again, I'm not like opposed to it, but I'm also not for it. Like Question said, I'm not at 100%, man. I need to be at 100% before I decide to follow something. There's a few people, if you guys want to get other people's opinion, because this is, I found a long time ago, some things I don't have to say. There are other people out here actually saying it for me. So you guys can go get your information. You can follow up. You can do your own research. You can check out stewpeters.tv. This guy speaks a lot. He says a lot of things that other social media networks will not say. Again, this is Stew, STEWPETERS.tv. And if you guys want to look up other events that are going on that some people are just not aware of, man, there is something called Event 201. and that's the Center for Health Security.org. You can check that out. There's ID 2020, there's Agenda 2030, and also a IA 2030, which is Immunization Agenda 2030. So check those out, see what they're about, and then you guys can formulate your own opinion. Some of these organizations are for the better, for the population. They're supposed to fight for your rights and, make sure that you guys have equal rights, that your rights are not being violated. The immunization agenda thing is basically that's the UN getting together, and they're just trying to make sure everyone has the jab. So again, I don't know why. I don't know why they're so concerned about it and why they're pushing it so hard, knowing that and here's a problem with that too. Again, they report all of the deaths and things that are going on, related to COVID-19. But they don't report all the adverse effects that have happened from the COVID-19 as far as the jab. So again, if you're going to promote, what's going on with it, the good, also promote the bad, We need to see both sides, man. Give people, again, the transparency to make their decision. And again, when you're doing things like that, that's what makes me hesitant. What is the point of hiding things? So you're deliberately hiding something, which means something isn't right.
Right. If something's so great for you, I'm like all for it. I'm pushing it to the fullest.
Right.
But like you said before, some government, people, that work in the government don't have to do it. And then some doctors and nurses saying, no, I'm not getting it. Well, are you a doctor or a nurse? What you know that I don't know?
Right.
Like what's going on here? So that's not helping it. You know what I'm saying? And as far as the school system, it's a lot of things. Y'all haven't got these kids done yet, but y'all still started school.
Yeah.
These babies is in school all around each other's face, not wearing no mask and breathing. And you hear about cases, but everything's so downplayed now.
Yep.
Because they trying to make things like, everything's back to normal. I personally don't think everything's going to be normal for a long time. What is normal? But I think it's going to be like this for a long time.
It's definitely going to be a while.
And the Delta variants. We was hearing about that. I don't even hear about that anymore. Have you heard about Delta variants?
Yeah, exactly.
And the Mu variants.
Delta.
Yeah,
So
Mu variants and all this stuff like variants.
And what does this jab do for those?
Right. It does nothing for that, or it don't hit you as hard. It's just don't believe that. Public Enemy said back in the day, don't believe the hype. I did not know what that song meant until probably about maybe 10 years ago. And that song been out a long time. Flavor Flav, don't believe the hype. And now I know that the media, and they can influence a lot of people.
Really can.
And TV program, they can program a lot of minds to think a certain way. I don't even watch TV no more, to be honest with you, especially the news, because the news is hype.
Yep.
I seen a broadcast where they had a hurricane going, and the dude acted like he couldn't even stand up and this and that, and the wind was blowing all hard, and then the dude just walking behind him like it was a summer day. And I'm like, yo, so that was hype.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you gotta read between the lines.
While he's
man.
strutting across.
Yeah, he act like he can't even hold on because the wind blowing so hard. This dude walking his dog behind the camera,
looking at him like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah. So that's just one instance, but you have to read between the lines and also look deeper into what's the overall the motive for what's the agenda here. Because there's a lot of agendas going on.
Need to go back to doing what kids used to do back in the day. I know I did it. I know Seldom said he did it. Always it. Why? Got to ask that question.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? We need to go back to that. Why?
I don't want to hear because I told you so.
Yeah.
You're not going to give me some old crazy answer, man. I need to know why.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. Especially now, we older and we know that everything's not what it claims to be, or because it's in front of your face, and things could be fabricated and made to look different than what it really is. Even like these women or a lot of other things you think is a woman and it's something else. So like because they got on his hair and makeup or whatever, you know. So it's like,
which is funny.
I was gonna touch on that, so we gonna go get to it. Go ahead, man.
But Red Fox.
Go ahead.
Red Fox did a comedy skit about that a long time ago, where he said that. He said he brought a girl home. You know, they was in the living room, whatever. He said she took her hair off, threw it on the floor. Took her little boom booms off, threw them on the floor. Took something else off, threw it on the floor. He said she got in the bed, he got on the floor. He said, "Shit, I know where all the good stuff at." he said, "Shit, he got on the floor."
wow.
He said, "I ain't no fool. I know where all the good stuff at."
That's the stuff that attracted me.
Oh, man. Yo, I'm gonna come back to that because I'm gonna jump on that quest. I just wanted to make one more last statement on this jab thing, man, because a lot of, I'm just trying to talk about some of these conspiracies that are out here and give people different views, man. Look, you guys have to do your own research, and that's all I'm saying. Don't regurgitate what you hear. If you're not going to do your own research for yourself, look things up, and not looking them up as, oh, I'm listening to the news and whatever they say. That's not doing research for yourself. You gotta do your own due diligence, man. A lot of people are saying that, this jab thing, Bill Gates is behind a lot of it. And I don't know if that's true or not, but I know he and his wife are part of that WHO organization. And you can go on their website. It's WHO, WHO.int. And there you can see that they are pushing the jab. They were one of the big influencers of this. And a lot of people have questioned, how does a computer scientist, if you want to call him that, go into basically biology?
But he been doing that for years, though.
But I got a question.
That's what people fail to realize. He's been doing that for a while.
I got a question. How much do this jab cost? Do anybody know? Like, if you had to pay out of pocket to get the jab, like, how much does it cost? Is it like $5? $200?
Knows, right?
I'm thinking it's more like a couple $100. It's a couple $100 for that jab, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, the home test kit is $50 to $80. So I mean,
so the jab, that any pharmaceutical or drug, it'd be one pill that costs $1,000 or whatever. You know what I mean? So this jab, that's what makes me think money. And you want 300, 400, 500 million people to get this, and 300, 400, 500 million times 200, 300.
Times more than that. Remember, you gotta do this every 6 months. If you gotta get a booster every 6 months,
that's big money, man.
Big money.
So why wouldn't I do it? If you own a pharmaceutical company or anything like that, you want to promote this and get it out there. And they're the ones that's really running the government. These big special interest groups and big pharma and big oil and all these people. How you raise the gas price and lower it and all that. Come on, man. We got enough gas to last us so our grandkids got gas. But yet and still, you're raising and lowering the price because this month I want to make $5 billion.
And here's what I tell people. Everybody, I love it when someone says, why would they do that? Why would the government do that? I don't know. You tell me, man. I mean, that's really, this for me, it makes me not want to go any further with that particular person, because it's like evidently you haven't really done your homework or research to pass or anything. You're strictly just listening to the TV or whatever you're getting your resources from. Of course, they would do it. They've done other things.
Yeah.
So, and again, COVID-19 is considered an epidemic, right? And here they are. They want to give everybody this free jab, because they care about your life. They want to save your life. Diabetes is considered an epidemic. Why do you have to pay for insulin? See? Why are these people losing money, can't pay the rent, can't pay mortgage or anything, man, because I got to buy this insulin all day, every day, every month. Why isn't that free?
Right.
See? If they care about you, then I only care about you for this one, but not for the other ones.
For
and
cancer,
all should be
other
free.
things,
Right.
a whole lot of stuff. You're right. That's 100 right there.
Because this virus is eventually gonna go away. They know that diabetes.
You sure about that?
That diabetes you gonna keep for the rest of your life.
I don't think this virus is going anywhere. So I think they got this. They're gonna milk this.
They're gonna keep it scared. Keep people scared of it. But just like when it first started, like I told everybody, damn, you couldn't even get a common cold no more. Soon as somebody sneeze, cough, oh, you got COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Like,
no more flu.
there's like,
no
what
more
happened to the flu?
pneumonia. When
Like,
last
damn.
time you heard somebody having pneumonia?
Can't get the flu.
None of it.
None of it. Everything
Everything is COVID.
Like,
And
damn.
that's very fishy right there. That's strange. That everything's COVID. Like you said, a
Exactly.
sneeze.
Yes. Everything
We've been
revolves
having
around
these
COVID
sicknesses
now.
our whole life.
Exactly.
Now everything COVID. Like, come on now. You gotta. I might look stupid, but you can't fool me like that.
Somebody cough. Oh, you got you got COVID.
Yeah,
now.
you got
COVID.
coronavirus.
Like, come on.
Because you think about it, every symptom that is COVID is the same symptoms we've been having our whole life.
Exactly.
Everyone.
But and
A headache,
also
a fever.
every last one of those symptoms is a symptom of the flu.
Right.
Yes, it is.
But I mean, cough is a cold, sniffles, body ache.
Right.
These are symptoms that been around since day one. But
But
now all that's COVID. So what is COVID really? Is that is that just a boosted up cold? Because they trying to divert off of the origination of this whole pandemic thing. Like, you trying to tell me a bat in China started this whole thing? No,
Yeah, you know
it
that was
wasn't
crazy.
contained. This thing was created to happen. This is what they call it. Oh man, I
But
forgot
my
what they
thing
call
is,
it.
even if it did happen in China, okay, are you even looking to see it? Because you don't hear nothing about they stuff spiking and this and that happening no more.
Right.
So if it did happen in China, why wouldn't you say, hey, what did you guys do to get this done?
Right.
Well, I think we should all go get with the Mormons, man, and have them teach us. It was on the news this morning that the Mormons, they're COVID free. Nobody's, and
say,
they've
we-
been COVID free.
We got COVID. They ain't gonna want us.
So how is that? They're living right among us. They're out in the countryside doing their little horse and buggy things. I guess staying to themselves.
Natural remedies.
Right.
You
So
know?
why are they not falling ill to this virus? Well, how and whatever they're doing, and I guess they need to teach the rest of the world how to do it.
Yeah, because there's money involved. They don't want to stop this. Not no time soon, because it's a lot of money invested. When the government ever gave a free shot?
Right.
Free testing, free this and that.
Even
It's
the
starting
flu
to make me
shot
think.
wasn't free. You gotta have some insurance for that.
Right,
Sure,
like
sure, the
free?
shot, exactly.
Nothing's free. You know, that's a big word, free. Free?
Right.
So what's behind this? Because anything that's free is something else following that. It's something else behind that. Like, yo, here's your...
Yeah.
I go back to the crack again.
Yeah.
Here's that free piece of crack because I'm going to get you addicted eventually. Here's another piece. Yeah. Oh, no, man, you still got that free? Nah, it ain't free no more.
Either that,
Just like...
or it's gonna come a time and they're gonna say, hey, remember when I gave you that free vaccine?
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna need that favor. I'm gonna need that favor back now.
Right. Even like with the testing, because I do a lot of testing for my job, and eventually, a specific drugstore was offering free testing every week. Bang, bang, bang. I'm tested about 3 or 4 weeks, and then now, your insurance card.
Yeah.
Insurance card? Y'all thought this was free.
Right.
Oh, now it's it's the same type of deal. So now,
And I'm glad you touched on that, because it was funny. Where now that you say that, because like you said, remember, everybody everywhere was free. Now that they talking about mandating the virus, all these now places done pulled back. They ain't even testing no more. It's hard to find a place to even go get tested now. All these now is like, out of all the now places around here, probably about 3 testing now.
Mm-hmm.
So now that this vaccine come about, and now y'all saying if somebody don't take the vaccine, the jab, that they're gonna have to go and be tested, whether it be weekly, twice a week, or whatever the case may be. Now all the testing facilities are getting pulled away.
Now
Right,
you have to
'cause
go
what
around and search for one.
Exactly.
I worked through the whole pandemic, and it was just if you showed any symptoms, then go get tested and blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
Now, they don't care if you got a symptom or not. Just test. But, as far as where I work, the kids not getting tested like that.
Right.
You know, it's a whole lot of people not getting tested. So either way it goes, you're not going to get a grip on this until everybody is on the same page, you know, with the same program. And that's what it seems like they're trying to do. But in actuality, they're not. They just about getting that, greasing their palms, man. And I will always say that.
In control. You're not going to tell me what I have to put. See, that COVID. Here you go, COVID. See?
Oh, man. Quarantine.
See, but, you know, to me, I just got a problem with that. You're not going to tell me I have to put something in my body.
Yeah.
Like,
well, this is for your health, man. This is to save you. I'm looking
Save
out
you,
for you.
your family. Yeah.
That's right. Don't you care about your family?
I'm good without it.
But like I said before, people that got the jab can still pass it to their family.
Even the numbers.
And you can't be around no elderly. You know, it kind of separated us a lot.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly what they did.
Separated families and couldn't get-togethers. You know, just past couple of years, well, a year and a half ago now, it was really spiking up. And, you know, my father had passed. And then we had to have services, and only 10 people can come to the service. Like, when do you know what I'm saying? It just was the wrong time, you know. But, you know, it's just like, that's the way it is. You can't have a family reunion, can't have a cookout, can't have a wedding, can't da-da-da. You know, it was just not. So they tried to take our civil liberties away from us to where make us rush out and get that shot, because I want to be able to live again.
Right.
Want some normalcy.
Yeah, and it's
I take
it's
it
a
just to be normal.
mind thing, a brainwashing thing to me, you know, the way they presented it. So, you know, it's, you know, I always say, man, life is life. You're gonna, you know, have to take the good, you're gonna have the bad, whatever, and then you gotta decipher what you want to do, you know, with that good and bad. You know, how you want to apply it to your life, you know. So
yeah, and that's why I said, you know, to each his own. Let me say this. Another thing that bothers me with people who have taken a jab, it's like they're automatically against the people who haven't. You know, and all of a sudden you're in the wrong. Oh, yeah. You're the dangerous one out here now. But yet and still, you can give it to me.
yeah,
Even though you've gotten a jab, hell, you might get me sick. But it's just in your mind that I'm the one who can get you sick.
you know, I make this little joke, and I go to like a lot of stores, and I just be like seeing people go in the stores, no mask, nothing on. I'm Mr. Vaccine, walk around with no mask. You know, like you need to still wear your mask.
Yeah.
I don't care if you have it or not. See, and that's the way you can, you know, distinguish who has it, who has the shot, and who don't.
Yes,
but
and
some
no.
of them don't have the
Exactly.
shot. They just not
You
wearing their
still don't
mask.
wear- Yeah, exactly. There you go.
You know what I'm saying? So we would never know unless you know, presenting your vaccine card, and then you got people with fake fake jab cards.
See, and-
Fake, you know, like, why fake jab card?
See, now, and that's another thing. Everybody, we talked about it at the job because it was concerning the people at the job. Now they talking about, you know, the jab cards. You got to produce your jab cards and this and that. Now my question is, ain't that going against the HIPAA law? That's
Right.
me showing you.
Right.
You want to see my medical? I don't have to show you my medical history.
Right. That's true.
So, but no one's questioning that either. To get into sports events, you got to show a valid, you know, jab card. You going against the HIPAA law?
right.
I got to show you my stuff, but nobody's thinking about that.
That's big time true right there.
Nobody's asking these questions. But then it goes back to, like you said earlier, Seldom seen about them constantly moving the goalposts back. Because first it was, only, 45% of the U.S. population had to be vaccinated, you know, had to get the jab.
Yeah, before it gets to herd
Yeah,
immunity.
yeah.
That number just keeps
And
rising.
then like you said, the goalpost went back a little further. Now it's about 60% got to be. Now, you know what I mean? It's come on, you changing the story every day, like.
Yeah, man.
Like, what do you know, and who's doing it? It's the government. Like, should we totally 100% trust the government? We see they can put idiots in the government, and that's just fine. Like, we supposed to just follow this this person because he's the leader of this government.
But even when the jab was first coming out, they had videos of it. You seen people who was supposedly getting it wasn't even getting nothing, wasn't even getting injected with nothing. It was like you was trying to pull wool over people's eyes so bad that you screwed up if you was one of those people who was paying attention to what was happening.
Right.
You know, but like you said earlier, people just look at it like, you know what, I'm taking this because I just want to get back to some type of normalcy. Mm-hmm. You know, but at the end of the day, it's still not going to be no normalcy.
Right.
So now you done took it, I don't want to say for nothing, because yes, you know, is there a virus out here? Yes.
Right.
You know, I'm not going to deny that.
Right.
Is it serious? Yes. Yeah. But the $1 million question is, do the government truly have a grip and a hold on it?
No.
Exactly. No, they don't.
And that's why they don't even know what they doing, man. That's what problem I have right now. Y'all don't even know what y'all doing. So why would I want to get into something so chaotic, you know, just because, you know, y'all say do it. You know, it's a lot of things. You know, people are human. Humans make mistakes.
Right.
You know, if I'm making a mistake by being hesitant, then that's my mistake because I'm human. Mm-hmm. You know, but you know, if I'm being forced to make a mistake, I got a problem with that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm being forced to make a mistake, and I see too many holes in that. You know, exactly. It's not solid. You know, and if it was something solid, you know how they back in the days, in order to start school, you had to have your MMR and your this and that and all that, polio vaccine, all that. Okay, but you know that's before my time. I didn't know nothing about it, but now that I'm older, it's something. You know, it's just too fresh, too new to me. You know, you remember back in the days, HIV, AIDS. You don't even hear about that.
Right.
No.
Like if somebody got HIV or AIDS, they still living a normal life now.
Because now it's so crazy. They went from having medicine where they can deal with it, live with it, so they won't get full blown AIDS, where they can just live with HIV, to now they got some type of pill. Over time, as they keep taking it, they're not saying they're not fully cured of it, but they saying the symptoms get less and less detected. It's like, okay, if my symptoms are getting less and less detected, is this an actual cure? Like,
right?
What are you talking about?
Right. Look at Magic.
I still got. I mean, everybody said you already know.
HIV.
He had the money for that. He paid the cure. He had
access to the good stuff.
Exactly.
If he can get cured, that means it's a cure out here.
The average man don't have access to that good stuff.
Exactly.
And why not?
Exactly.
Because
of that money. Man this jab.
Because they ain't got the millions.
Right. You want to save me with the jab.
Because remember,
you can't save me from these other diseases.
Because remember, it's us. It's the average man that keeps this world going around. We are the taxpayer. We are the ones that keep this world going around.
The average man this jab.
Yes.
So why can't the average man get the cure for?
Because I'm gonna give you something so you can live with it and continue to work.
You've been working on cancer. Been around since the beginning of time. You know, AIDS came around about 30, 40 years ago. You know, it probably was always here, but they just, you know, diagnosed it, whatever. But they had more time to research that stuff and fix it. Now, you didn't have all this time. You know, maybe 10 years down the line, they say, okay, this is going to do this, that, and the third. You know, this jab going to blah, 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 blah. They still new at it right now. You know, it takes time. You know, just from our age, we know anything. You know, it's got to be great. It's gonna take time. It ain't just no overnight fix.
But
you know?
To me, in my opinion, it ain't. They knew about this, and like you said, I agree. It was man made. My thing is that I don't like. Why is it every virus, everything that happens here came from another country? Remember, AIDS came from Africa.
Right.
You know, now this coronavirus came from Asia. Like, why everything had to come from somewhere else and come here?
Right.
Like,
not made here.
Exactly.
Like, what was made here? A car?
Exactly.
Like, what you?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like, come on.
That makes
And how does it get here?
Exactly. That's what I mean.
If it's in another
Everything
country,
always had to follow.
How is it
Everything
getting
had to
over
come
here?
here.
Who's
That's a
bringing
good
it
point.
here?
It's like, come on, man. No, I'm not fine. That's like, what, back in the, what was it? Not syphilis. What was that junk that was given to the military dudes, back in the day to help them in the wars or something? It was a man-made disease. Damn, I can't think of it. It ain't syphilis. Something with an S, something like that. They was giving it to the military men, coincidentally all black, but, to help them in war. Like you said before, biological warfare. And to me, that's what I really think this virus is.
Yes,
Something
it is.
that slipped up and got out of control that, maybe it wasn't a slip up.
Well, like you said earlier with Bill Gates, population control. He's been talking about that for a long time.
Exactly.
You know that man got so much money he don't even know what to do with it. But he got every seed, like, so he can basically restart civilization again if he had to.
But he's buying up all the agricultural land.
Yeah.
He buying all the agricultural land. And he's got every seed of everything from apples to herbs to maple trees, any seed.
But my thing is, if you want to
Beans.
control the population, and that's the case, to be like goddamn Asia, say, hey man, after this many amount of baby, you can't have no more
Right, you can't have
kids.
any
You know what I
more.
mean? You can't have no more.
Right.
Do like they did to control. You know what I mean? That's how you control the
It
population.
remind me of the cartoons though. I can rule the world. Like you ever see them cartoons where they have like Master Splinter or somebody just
Right.
they just trying to take over the world. That's what it seems like to me in real life. Like
But what's
people
your
want to
end
be
goal?
powerful.
You're not going to live forever anyway. So what are you going to gain from this?
Right.
Sooner or later, you
To
have
preserve-
to hand this over to someone or
to preserve
something,
their
right?
bloodline. That's what it's
Yeah.
about.
Underground bunkers
to
and-
preserve them. Like that Illuminati stuff.
Yeah.
I believe that's
It's a big
it's
agenda,
real.
way bigger than
I
us.
believe it's real. Where they
Yeah.
have
If
those,
you guys really believe in that?
where they have these underground cities and all
Yeah.
of this stuff where, only the rich, X amount, X, Y, and Z can only be there. I believe
Right.
they do
The
have that. I
elite.
mean, shit,
Yeah.
look at now. You got what? 2 billionaires. One already done went up in space. Another one about to go do it too. Like they said, shit, they really is trying to leave our ass here on Earth and be like, yo, I'm gone.
And then how long they be in the space station up there? They can be up there for years now.
Yeah.
Remember how people actually lived up there for a couple
Yes.
of years in the space station? So they really doing stuff right in front of our eyes.
Yep.
Yes.
And it's coming to play now.
But
You know what I'm
remember,
saying?
Mars, they found there's oxygen, there's water. They found there's breathable oxygen on
There was
Mars.
supposed to be I don't know if it was how many people were going, 6 or 10 who actually were going to live on Mars to restart
Yeah,
the
they
pipe.
supposed
So
to be doing- yeah.
what happened to that? I think they
That's what
already
I'm
went
saying.
up there. They're supposed to have been sending some people to actually live there. It was a one-way trip.
Oh, wow.
You go and you
They don't
can't
do
come
that.
back. Now that was the deal.
Wow.
See, they can, because there's oxygen, there's life up there.
Okay.
Kind of like, remember, even crazy and nutty as people say he is, even Cat Williams hit it out of nose. Like you said, remember when they used to go up in the rocket ships, the shit used to always be on the news. You see the ship go up, then they tell you when the shit land, and everybody there to watch it and see what they land. And when they land, then you say, hey, everybody sit there, show me what you got. Let's see what you got, when you went out of space. He said, now the motherfuckers land that night, don't everybody know. So shit, ain't nobody there. They just walk off with the shit they got. Like, hey. 'Cause it is. It went from being
Televised, right.
to, so publicized to, yo, let's get up out of here. Now they tiptoeing away.
Now, not to be off subject, but do you think, like, people that's going up there and then coming back, are they bringing something back with them?
I think so.
Do they decontaminate those vehicles that they're going out of there with? Because we're not really supposed to be out there. So what if you bringing back germs or molecules or
Well, that's been on. They show that. They say there's a lot of molecules, microbes living up in space that may come back. They can see it, and they're actually living. So there are actually some microbes that actually live in outer space that can live in sub-zero, man. We can't breathe that air.
Right.
Not
That's
enough
what
oxygen for us.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, it's a whole lot of stuff going on that's so deep. It's way beyond our control.
Right.
But, because I always think, like, man, this rocket just went up there. then it just come back down. Then you just walk off like, hey, everything's fine. Like, what did y'all just bring back in here? You know, yeah, it went through the ozone layer and it's very hot or this and that or whatever. Or maybe even that layer of you know, ozone layer or whatever, you know, has something in it that we shouldn't be messing with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm skeptical about that. So you know I'm skeptical about a jab. Like,
but but I've always wondered, even as a kid, how do you really know that there's only 9 planets?
Right.
Do we really truthfully know there's only 9 planets?
If you go to the pyramids, if you go back in the days, there are a lot of pictures, man, that are drawn that are thousands of years old with the solar system. And that always puzzled me because it was like, according to what we were taught in school, the telescope wasn't even invented.
Exactly.
So how do these people draw the solar system exactly how it is without being able to see it if there was no telescope?
Right.
How is that being done?
Wow.
You know, so a lot of things, like I've always said, is like, hey, something's not right, man. It doesn't fit. You're telling me I can go in one of these little caves and they done drew the goddamn solar system, the sun, all the planets, how they move, but yet there was no telescope? Then you tell me how did they know that was up there?
Exactly.
Right.
Something's missing. Either they did have the technology and you guys are just lying to us, you know, making us think, oh, this is new, or what? Somebody came down and showed them, because how would they know it's there?
Right.
See, that brings me to the religion aspect of this, man. This is why I've always had an issue with religion, because religion bumped heads with science for me. Once I really started learning, because as a kid, I was a nerd. And a lot of people who know me would know that before basketball, before rapping, before all that stuff, man, I was a straight little nerd. Like my son you see over here. You know, people didn't know, people I grew up with know, hey, you know, I'm seeing a little nerd over here. So yeah, I was the one who knew how to name every rock that you saw, every bug, every little creature walking around, man, the solar system. I can tell you all that stuff because I was into that.
Right.
And for me to say, well, hey, you guys told me, you know, telescope and microscope was all invented at this time, but yet it's all right here. Thousands of years before. So how? You know, and everybody's, oh, well, we don't know. Well, then something's missing.
Yeah.
You know, then you can't tell me what you're teaching me now is correct when this was here thousands of years before, man. So I've always had a problem with religion and finding out, if you're not telling me the truth about, you know, the science, the biology of everything, how can I trust this religion, especially after you read the book? And I always tell people, man, just trust me. Just read it. Read it one time, and then you'll understand where I'm coming from. Because if you don't have questions, I know you haven't read it. Because that book, there are just a lot of contradictions, man, and that's something I want to talk about. This is why I called it the Truth Serum today. I'm going to touch on a lot of subjects. I mean, we started talking about the jab, and that I know that's a long subject in itself.
Yeah.
But even with the, someone sent me a post based off of money, and I want to show that too on here. It said, if money is the root of all evil, why do they ask for it at church?
Well, they got to pay the light bill. They got to keep the church running, or it's going to fall apart. And people got to get paid because it's a business, just like anything
Is
else.
it?
Yeah.
Has it always been a business?
No.
See, so then that's where I get confused. When?
Yeah,
Because
religion.
if you go back in the day, so when did it become a business? When did it become okay for preachers to actually be paid to preach the word of God? Because from what I see, Jesus didn't get paid to preach the word of God.
Right.
None of his disciples were getting paid to preach the word of God. So when did that actually start to occur where, hey, now I need some money to teach you about the word of God?
I think
now I need a private jet
Yeah.
to teach you about the word of God.
I think it started out well, you know how they say the tithes and 10% and the members and
Well,
this
that's
and
always
that.
been, Mike. People get confused with that too. The peasants paid the church to the church directly.
Right. They always kind of did it willingly.
Right.
They did it willingly. Oh man, I want to see you be successful, or I want this church to keep going. So it always took money, you know, and services, because you see people that work for the church too, whether they, you know, carpenters, painters, or landscapers, or you know, they work for the church, but the higher ups made the money.
Right.
You know, and then churches was also a refuge place to go get food if you didn't have none, or to go get shelter.
But can you?
But you know,
during that hurricane,
you can't function without
homeboy
money.
closed his church to everybody. Said, nah. What was that at? What was his name? Was the Osteen dude?
Oh
He
yeah,
didn't let
when there
y'all
was
in the
something
church,
going
man.
on. Yeah,
Right.
he didn't want them people when it was flooding
So
in New Orleans or
right.
somewhere.
Yeah.
I thought that's what it was all about.
Right. He wasn't playing that. See, and
But yet his congregation is still there, putting money in that little pot that's being passed around.
because you got them
You
people
guys
still.
gotta tell me, what don't you see? What's missing here, man?
It's
That's where I get confused with it. This is where I put a little hesitant, man, in religions when I see what's going on. Like when I can see a preacher misusing funds, when I can't support that. For me, my church is within me.
Right.
For me, is when I read is what I'm trying to read, and then they all tell you that. Well, you got to read the Bible for yourself, and we all interpret it a different way.
Right.
Oh, I didn't know that.
your relationship with God, is your relationship with God, your prayers and this and that. And you don't really need church to praise God. That's just a house to where you fellowship and praise together. And they say the more people praising together, it's more powerful and get, I don't know, you be blessed or whatever. I don't really know what I'm talking about
But
right
you're
now.
religious, Quest.
But-
See, I don't know if you
But
really go to church
in
and
the
do all those
aspect-
things, man.
When I was younger, I went to church
I
a
did
lot.
when I
But
was
now, I think it's more a business thing, more than anything,
Why are there two books? I mean, why do you have Old
Right.
Testament and New Testament?
Right.
Nobody can ever tell me that. Hey, when did God come down and say, hey, man, you need to revise this and change some things?
Where did you write all this text before you put it in the book?
Right.
Like,
It should be one book.
right.
If you made a revision, I'm just stuck. Says who? Who tells you that it needs to be revised? And
Look
what
at
are you revising?
what's his name? Farrakhan. You notice lately he been preaching like crazy out of the
Yeah.
Bible. When he first started, it was all Quran. But now he's quoting a lot of things out of the Bible if you really listen to him now. But I think he's just comparing both of them, that really the message is kind of the same, but just said differently in different books.
That's what he's doing because it is the same.
Yeah.
Every book has
Yeah.
the same story, just different names.
Yeah.
They are
So-
really pretty much the same. They're taking from a set of what do they call them? A set of scriptures as scrolls, as you would call it. Here's another issue that I have with the Bible and with people putting it together. There are a lot of books that are left out. So what you're reading, there are there are hundreds of books that are left out. So some scriptures you won't even read. And that was part of the original Bible, but it's pretty much the Bible is a watered down version. And I always said, well, who gets to choose what I read and what I don't read? Who gets to choose, hey, you know what, we're going to put these books in here, but we're going to leave those out. And why do you get that choice?
Yeah, why?
Why can't I read everything like you?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
You know?
like why are you leaving things out if everything in there is supposed to be the blueprint of life?
There's
Like,
man, what is that book? The Gospel of Thomas is actually one, man, that people don't read. The Infancy Gospel of Thomas. And in that scripture, see, it says things about Jesus that people don't want to read. That people that you would never hear the preacher or priest, whatever you guys call them, they would never teach you those little scriptures, man. Because then I always ask people, do you know that Jesus actually killed somebody?
Right. You don't want
nobody
no
knows
bad
that,
scriptures. You don't want no bad word getting out.
Right.
It's like hidden. It's just hidden.
And that's my problem. If you're not going to tell me everything, my mind says something's wrong here. If you're only going to tell me the piece you want me to hear, then I'm skeptical of that.
You hiding something.
Right. Why is that? Hey, tell me everything. Tell me all the good he did and tell me all the bad he did. We're human, right? We all make mistakes, so why do you hide his bad deeds?
Right.
As if he was just a saint and did nothing wrong, when if you read the Infancy Gospel of Thomas, you see that he's done a few things wrong.
I mean, I can kind of see that where he killed somebody. I mean, because in the Bible, it says eye for an eye. So
That's the Old
he ain't-
Testament.
Yeah,
That's
but
not
he
the
ain't
New.
say that for a reason. He said that for a reason.
Again,
So
you know what I tell
it
people
had to
too?
be there for a reason.
Here's another thing, man. I don't know, my mind, again, this is supposed to be me really just ranting, man, and telling people so you guys can kind of understand who I am as Seldom Seen and the things that I've gone through in life and the way that I think. And it's the same thing with the Bible because I've read it. Like what you're saying, an eye for an eye kind of thing. Now it's vengeance is mine, says the Lord. You know, and I'm like, again, who changed that? And it was King James, right? Because this is why you have King James Version. A lot of people don't understand that before King James came over here with the new revised version, it was actually illegal for you to possess a Bible. And people don't know that. You could not possess a Bible or you would be hanged by the church. So only high priests and those people were able to possess the original Bible, which is the original Testament, the Old Testament, an eye for an eye. And in the Old Testament, people don't understand that it also says that slavery is legal. See, and people don't want to read these things. If you did something to someone, you owed them and you were supposed to pretty much be their servant for X amount of years. But within those years, they're supposed to do exactly what the prison system does. They're supposed to take care of you, feed you, and do whatever. But you work for them until your debt is paid off. And see, this is how the government has flipped it on us. Instead of that person paying servitude to you, we hand it over to the government. Now they go to jail and they're paying your servitude to the government. They're working for the government now, doing those 7 years or 10 years or whatever. They harmed you. Your servitude, we just kind of handed it right over to the government. And people don't understand that. That person is supposed to, by your biblical scriptures, is supposed to serve you. But you're supposed to take care of that person while he's serving you. This is why I said read it. See, people don't read it. These are scriptures and things that you would never hear going to church.
That's wild, man.
So we have given up all of our authority. Now, I've always questioned that. Hey, man, somebody wronged me. Work for me. You know, give me my 7 years and doing whatever. But we've given all of that power to the government. So we have all of our work or whatever is supposed to be due to us. The government is collecting it.
That's wild, man.
So yes, it's all about money, and it's all a game that they've played with us. Yeah. And we're just sitting back not understanding exactly our rights or freedoms that we're giving up. And I'm not making any of this up. Read it.
Right. That's deep, man. I like to get the knowledge like that. And at the end of the day, you do have to do your own research and
gotta do your own due diligence
and really look at it. And a lot of people that's in the church and the house of worship or whatever will have something different to say about that.
Because they haven't read it.
Because they haven't read it. They don't have the knowledge of it. But you listen to that preacher all day, and he gonna tell you some good things too, but maybe he don't even know the whole story or the whole Bible or the whole deal because of who taught him something. See, he probably didn't go out the box to look, seek that, extra or more information on that. He only know what the Bible college or whoever, taught him.
It's all about hope.
Yeah.
Giving people hope, man. We will put up with other things. Again, just like Martin Luther King, slap me, turn the other cheek kind of thing, because you hope. We're hoping that something gets better. We're hoping that, like people always say, hey, don't worry about it. He's going to get his in the end. Got to get him in the end. And I've always had a problem with that. I was like, hey, man, if the person doing bad to you really believe that, why are they doing it to you? Evidently, they don't believe what they're telling you to believe.
Right.
Because if they believe that, why would they continue to suppress you and do all of these evil things to you if they were going to get theirs at the end?
And they know they're not. Or in their mind, they figure it's not.
There's something missing. Because, hey, if you know that, hey, you're going to get punished at the end, either you don't care or you don't believe in it. But yet you're pushing it down my throat. Right. Yet you're hanging it over my head that, hey, all your evil deeds, man, this is, you're going to get yours in the end. So is it true or not? So my mind has always gone there weighing it like something's missing here, man. How do you do all these evil acts to people and then say, hey, at the end, God punishes you at the end for that?
That's something to think about right there.
So it's always been just really weird to me, man. What you say, Quest, earlier about the guy, man, going with the girl thing? Because I had a funny question, man. That, again, I was talking to someone and it popped up, and I was like, damn, I got to ask this question, man. And I guess, like most people with the guys who are like trans women, I guess, men who are, being women. Most of the time you see a guy and it's like, okay, if you see a guy dating a a trans woman, a man who was turned into a woman, is he considered gay?
He's considered different to me because if you're not your knowledge, you know that he used to be a man. You can't produce any kids out of it. There's no way you can put ovaries and uterus inside that body. Far as the sexuality part of it, I think that's really where they're going. You know, if they had a sex change or whatever, you know, because it boils down to sex at the end of the day. Like, I'm not gonna say what else you need women for, but
here we go, Will.
you know, but that God, you know, put it to where we have to reproduce. That's the only way we can reproduce and keep going is with a woman, not a trans. But that's just some new age stuff because transgender people and gay people now they can get married, far as society wise, you know, but far as you know. Morally and the Bible wise, you know that's wrong.
And there you go. In the Bible, if you guys want me to find it for you, I will. I think it's in Exodus or I believe it's Exodus. But it says that if you cannot walk through the pearly gates. It is in there. It's not me saying it. It's not my opinion. This is in the Bible. So if you are religious, it is in there saying that if you are gay, you cannot walk through those pearly gates, man. So a lot of people, this is where I get mixed up when people preach to me about these things, and it's like, hey, this is not my decision. I don't care because I don't know, and it's not for me to judge you. And I tell everyone that I'm not here to judge, man. I'm not the one who's gonna tell you yes or no if that's really the end result. I have no authority over that. So I'm not here to judge anybody. I have my own damn faults, man. I don't want you judging me on mine. What you do is what you do. Now, but personally, as I explained, me and my son had this conversation. Again, like you just said, Quest, it's in the Bible, so that's not for me to judge. That's for the man, whoever to say that. Personally, as far as like you were saying, to procreate, if men like men, women like men, and women like women, what do you think happens after a while? And like I explained, what do you think is going to happen year and year if that's how it stays? We will end our own race. Everyone dies because there will be no more children. Right. So if you look at it naturally, it's like, nah, it's not right because you're gonna kill yourself. You're gonna kill your own species. So that's the only reason why I see where it's like, hey, you're doing something that is going against nature, and that's it. Other than that, it's not up to me to judge whether it's right or wrong. I don't know what's right. I don't know what's wrong. You know,
see, but you also got a lot of these new age ones say, well, nah, they got all these fraternity clinics where women can
take that away. What if we didn't have technology? See, you're
I mean,
saying
exactly,
that now
but that's
but
that's how they look at it. Well, if I want to have a kid, I can still have a kid.
If you like, but see, again, this is why we.
I get you,
Jalen. Yeah, I know.
I get it.
This is why we have so many other things, man. It's like you can't say both. That's why I was like, hey, you got to figure it out and you got to decide what you want to do. And it's your choice. Like I said, it's nobody's choice but yours. And I can't be the judge. Nobody else can be the judge. But like you were saying, I guess morally, I don't know what's right or wrong, man. I'm just saying by nature, it's not right. By nature, it will work Against you. And any other animal or insect on earth, it's the same. There's male and female. There's no two same sex in any of these species on earth, man, because with that being done, you will end your species.
Now, only species I ever heard of that can reproduce without
to be
a
asexual.
male or female is a roach.
Because there are other species, but that's asexual, meaning that you don't have to have the other person. You can actually reproduce on your own.
Right.
So anything that's asexual can actually impregnate or give birth on their own. They don't really need a sperm from a male, a male.
And that's real deep there. Because
frog. Well, no, a frog can change sexes. Okay, that's different. A frog can change.
The only thing I ever heard that can do that was a roach, but I'm sure there's a lot more.
Yeah, there are other species out here, but again, that's called asexual. It's like some flowers can pollinate themselves. They're self-pollinating flowers. They don't need a bee or another pollen from any other plant. They grow and they produce fruit on their own. So it's a touchy subject, but like I explained to him, I don't know what's right or wrong. I just know, like I said, from nature, if you look at it from a nature point of view, it won't make sense.
Isn't that amazing though, man? Like how just, because I believe the fact that things were created, you know, to be able to do what they do. Like, you know, just the. I think deep like that sometimes. I just sit up there and look at the sky and be like, man.
Evolution. I mean,
Like, but I'm breathing this stuff in. I can't see, but if
a
I
lot
don't
of
have it,
people don't believe in evolution. They think like, hey, we weren't just here. Like something happened. Things evolved. All the ice age stuff, all of that stuff is real. A lot of people don't believe in that. Just like all this climate stuff now that this junk is real.
yeah, climate change.
Like yes, climate change is real.
They're putting a lot of money into that.
Yeah. Hold on, Blacksmith. I'm gonna let you get back into that. The only reason I asked that question in Quest is because on the flip side of my conversation, that's why I asked you if a guy dates a man who who's trying to be a female, is he gay? Because on the flip side of that, if a man dates a woman who's trying to be a man, is he gay? There are a lot of women out here who look like you, full beard, no breasts, and I mean full beard.
Yeah.
It is crazy today, man. So if you were dating someone who looks like you with the beard, muscular or whatever, but
They're still a
female,
woman.
are you gay?
No.
See the double standard?
It's still
there?
a woman. It's still a woman. It's still a woman. Fires the hormones. No. It's still a woman. Fires the hormones and the natural.
So like the
nature.
it's
Like
the
you go back
circus,
to nature.
That's just the bearded lady, right?
Yeah. Not that I would date somebody like that, but it's still nature. Okay. Nature like overrides that.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? It's not artificial. It's actually nature. Still, I think nature overrides the artificial to me.
But if she got the beard and everything, want to be a man, obviously she ain't gonna want you having no intercourse with her.
That's a lie.
Well,
Trust me.
I don't know. That's just like you buy a soda and it say strawberry on it. And it's just some red dye and some sugar and some little ingredients to make it strawberry, but so you actually eat a strawberry.
Sit there.
That's nature. That's what strawberry's supposed to taste like. Not no strawberry soda. You know what I mean? Like it's artificial.
So it ain't nature for a woman to be bearded and
some of them born with hair on their mustaches and all that.
Hey, that's one thing, being born with it.
But I'm speaking to trans men, because you may have
but
trans,
yes,
but they take hormones to grow.
To do something to do that. Yes,
their body start getting more curvy. They start growing a butt and breasts and just start getting curvy, because that's what a woman shape
come here.
Is curvy, versus a guy, we more box and squared and muscular or whatever. So they growing a beard and that's your preference, I guess. If they got hair on their face or whatever, and you really like that, because not to get back to the like I see a lot of women these days, they that's gay. They like women that look like dudes. Mm-hmm. Why not get a real dude?
Right?
But I guess they, it's something that I don't know about. I'm not educated on that enough. But, once again, we go back to that experience is the best teacher. Maybe that female that look like a dude know them certain things to do to make that woman.
See? I'm curious. I ask questions.
Yeah, that's like so deep, man.
And they've told me that, hey, man, I like that, rough look, but I like what's between the legs.
Right.
I mean? I don't want what's between. I like the way you look, but I want to lick on something, but not what you have.
Right.
And that's what majority of them are like. Hey,
they know
the
pressure
I
point.
like a female, but a rough female. You know what I mean? So it is to each his own, man.
Yeah.
Well,
that's about where it all boils down to. Whatever your preference is, that's what you go with. Some people like fat women. Some people like skinny women. Some people like this and that. Some people like guys. Some people like girls. So it all depends on the individual. But see, I think lot of TV, social media, and all that stuff plays a part in a lot of stuff. They like glorify a lot of this stuff now.
They do.
As far as a lot of shows, you see these gay
Yeah,
guys.
it's more open,
Gay
more
guys with shows and, you know, oh, God, and like my wife, she watch a lot of that stuff. And I be like,
it's more, but it's more open now.
Yeah.
More acceptable, I should say. It's
Yeah.
more acceptable. Where they don't have to, what we used to say back in the day, be in a closet, keep it in
Right.
the closet.
Right.
It's not in the closet no more.
Right.
But I did just receive a message. The radio actually went out again. They said there's nothing on the
I think
radio.
it's gonna keep doing it. Man. It just keeps freezing on us.
Yeah, so I just obviously we got people on the YouTube channel that's chiming in and watching and listening. So most likely we'll probably just end up re-airing the show once it's done. We can just re-air it for those that missed it, because I guess there are a lot of people that wanted to chime in, or that was listening, sitting at work or whatever, listening, and it just kept going out. So
Yeah,
we apologize
definitely
for that.
apologize.
We will re-air the show.
Wonder if I have to do an update on this or something, man.
We'll
Yeah.
re-air it, and that way people can at least hear what they.
But it's
they
definitely
missed.
on the YouTube. You guys, if you can't call in, you can text on the YouTube channel. That way, at least you can join the conversation. Again, the number to dial is 315-925-7262. If you're not on YouTube, 315-925-7262. I mean, we only have about 20 minutes left, but if you guys want to chime in, you have something to say. If you want to talk about some of the issues that we talked about today, please call in.
Yes, and like we said, you can also, hit us up, man. IG, leave us a message about the conversation, or email us cdcindyradio@gmail.com. About what you heard, or even suggestion of topics that you may want to talk about. Like you said earlier, we will be shifting gears and shifting it over to the Urban Focus show, which will dive more into these topics that we're discussing, right here. And, we plan on having a bigger panel. Hopefully we get more call-ins, more people chiming in on the YouTube. Because we really want it to be, a community thing. That's really what it's about. That's why it's called Urban Focus. We want to bring, something to try to come up with something with what's going on in our own communities. It starts with us. We have to be the ones to make the changes in our communities. If we're expecting outside people who don't live our lives, who don't live in our neighborhoods to come and help us, then guess what? We're never going to get the help. The help is not going to come.
It hasn't come yet.
We have to be the ones to do it. It starts within. It starts with us.
right, people got to see that you're serious about what you're doing. Then if they just figure, oh, you joking, or oh, you playing, or whatever, people don't take you serious. But people take you more serious. But it all starts with, it starts with you, doing what you do. Like, I love you guys, man. The platform, that y'all presenting to the people, for them to be able to, it's like giving back. I never. I got to this age, I never knew if I was going to ever be able to give back, but you guys are giving back, man, and that's beautiful because, we need this right now.
Yeah. We're really trying
it's a
to.
necessity, man.
A lot of people still don't know that we're out here, still don't know that we exist, so we need everyone who's listening. We need you guys to promote this and pass it along as much as you can. This is truly your platform, your music, your voice. This is for you. This is your community involvement. This is your chance to be heard, to be seen. Whatever it is you want to do, whatever ideas you may have, all you have to do is contact us. c2cindyradio@gmail.com. Send us an email with your ideas. If you have a podcast that you think you like to do, just send us an email. We really are in need of a female podcast. I looked at the analytics, and the majority of our listeners are males. So we really need females to join in on these conversations, or again, tune in if you have some ideas, some things that you like to talk about. Come start your own podcast. We will be glad to put you on. We will be glad to host you. This is what we need. We need more females to join in on the conversation so we can actually get a true, feeling of what's going on in this community. If it's only males tuning in and conversating, then the females don't have a voice.
All right, they feel left out on this. They feel kind of left out, like, they're not gonna listen to me or this and that. And women listen to women all the time because they like talk. Yes. And we building, but as far as the women, I feel they build also in their own little way, and they feel more comfortable talking to women. But
well, we hoping that narrative can get changed a little bit. We do. With the show that happens every other Friday, a few perspectives. I believe sooner than later it will be every Friday. But right now it's every other Friday, and they will have actually a female on their panel. Okay. So I'm hoping, that will kickstart the females' involvement. To get the ball rolling, with that.
Because you can't tell me women ain't got nothing to say. Women always got something to say. I don't care what it is. Always, whether it's good or bad or something you like or you dislike. Women always, and it's good to have a woman's point of view or standpoint on different topics and issues. Even like what we talked about tonight. I'm sure a woman would have came with a whole different perspective on what we're talking about. We coming from a man because, a lot of our thought and speech is more logical, like I said. But, women, they come from a motherly point of view or emotional or, different aspect of the same issue or the topic. It's like, you go to a woman doctor and a man doctor, he's just, how you doing? Oh, you feeling? And then he gets you up out of there. Women like, oh, no, I don't like that cough, or I don't like, this is red, or, and they more kind of integral,
Have you had a woman doctor?
Yeah.
And, I've had one, but I choose to have a male doctor only because, again, I just felt like, hey, you don't have what I have. So if I had an issue, let's say if I had an issue with that part of me, there's no way you can say you understand, but it's like, how? You don't have this, so you can't feel what I feel.
Right, you don't want the feeling down there, like not that I want a man feeling down there.
But get what I'm saying? It's like you can only assume.
It feel like when your nut go up in your stomach.
Yeah. You tap it the wrong way. You don't know. You don't know
what that feel like. Shit.
My stomach start hurting, and you don't know about that.
That's why I just rather say, hey, I respect all women doctors, I do. But when it comes to that part of me, there's no way you can feel what I feel. So I'd rather have a man where I can say, hey, man, this is what I feel. Because I know most likely you felt that before. So you can understand if I say, yeah, man, this is going, I feel this. And it's like, okay, I know what you're saying.
Right. I had a woman doctor before for many years, and she was very good. I enjoyed her, But some things will get touchy.
She told you to cough.
But
okay.
She was on the top of her game, And then when they took her away, and I ended up having to get a male doctor, I kind of seen the difference, and to them it I don't know. It just seemed like a paycheck to some of them. Yeah. Come on in. Oh, how you feeling? Oh, you feeling great? All right, okay. Oh, you need any notes? Oh, you need some more medicine? You out in 5 minutes.
I would truly agree with you on that one. That I feel women doctors are more patient with you and more concerned with you. I definitely give you that.
I think it depends on the doctor, though. Because my doctor, he actually does sit and talk to me. Hey, how you going? How's it going? How your health going? You feel? He actually does take the time and talk and really want to know what's going on.
That's because you got good insurance. Trying to see what how much can I hit him with? Shit.
You got good insurance.
You all right? You good?
What can I prescribe him this week? What's going on with you?
You sure?
You really want to, talk. But I mean, now let me ask y'all something. You about to be 50, Quest, you already,
just turned 50.
Yeah, you 50. I mean, I at least know for me, I'm 45, but I'm still at that level where, before when you're younger, something hurt. Oh, damn, you know, my leg hurt, whatever. But when you get older, it's like, you know the exact name of that body part that's hurting now. You was like, hey, it's my fifth torso over here. That's like that. Like, do it really hit you like that when you get older? It's like, hell, you can actually name it right down to the part that's hurting. Like, hey, my fifth vertebrae on my left side hurting.
Yeah. Because, you know, once you pass 40, it just seemed like, boom, dog, that's my arm. Let me pick that back up. Oh, man, my feet hurting. Because, be honest with you, man, I never knew like every now and then I get these things called gout flare-ups. And it starts in your toe where the crystallization around your joints and things like that. I never knew that till after 40. And they were like, so I had to change my whole diet up. Like, I can't eat
too much red meat or something.
Too much
like
red
that.
meat,
Too much
seafood, gravy, all the stuff I like. Alcohol. Like, God, dog, I got to just drink water and walk around and bump my head against the wall. You know what I'm saying? Like, whoa. But just, you know, you live and learn, you know, that, you know, you can't live the same way you lived 20 years ago or when you were in your 20s. That, you know, now that's just one thing I learned, you know, even like just life in general. Like,
it's kind of bad. I agree with you, but then again, I don't. Only just because, with the exception of a few things, I kind of still eat how I ate when I was younger, minus the pork. I don't eat pork, but, you know, my mother, my grandmother was big on making sure we ate our vegetables and stuff that I still carried over into my adulthood as I gotten older.
Right.
So there's a lot of things on my diet. I didn't really take a dive you know, to where I kind of leveled. I might have, you know, hit a little speed bumps, you know, but I never really went over crazy. One, I'm picky with what I eat anyway.
Right.
So I don't eat everybody's food, picky with what I eat, and I only eat certain stuff.
Right.
You know, me and my wife debate every day on what we gonna eat for dinner. Because there's a lot of things that she like to eat that I don't.
Right.
I'm simple. Give me some fish, give me some chicken, give me some turkey. I'm good.
See, my wife, I don't eat seafood. I don't eat spaghetti. I do a lot of cooking around the house, so I try to accommodate them. But I grew up on beans and rice, and turkey necks and this and that, you know. And they don't eat like that, you know.
And that's my wife. She eat a lot of pasta, and so I don't. Maybe it was because, you know,
I like my pasta.
Because Mon Deuce always gave us goulash and all that stuff.
Especially if you
being
had to work,
young,
you had to cook a quick meal. You
Yeah.
can't cook like
So
greens
maybe
and
that's
collard
probably
green
why
macaroni and cheese every day.
I don't like it. Because I mean, especially that if it wasn't goulash, it was shells. Like, that's probably why I don't like eating none of it today. And at the same time, can't nobody cook it like my mother. So it's like, all right, I can only eat that from one person. You know, wifey tried, just like dressing. You know what I mean? She had to get my mom's recipe. It was like, that's the only dressing I eat.
Right.
So she had to,
get them ingredients, get it down pat.
So it was like, you know. So
and then that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of women these days, they gotta work too. So when you get out of work or whatever, you can't sit up there and cook no roast and potatoes and this and that, a Sunday meal on a Monday. You know what I mean? You had to cook that goulash or that tuna casserole real quick. Or
see, and my wife do. She still tries to, and it's just me and her in the house, and she still cook like all the kids still in the house.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, it's just me and you.
Yeah,
this food about to go to waste. Like,
yeah. You only eat so much.
Exactly. After a couple of days, I don't want this no more. Like,
It's funny you say goulash and shells. it's all pasta. And I remember, I like spaghetti. My mom makes some goulash and shells. I don't like it. And it's the same thing.
Right, it's noodles.
See, right.
And
When you get older, you realize as a kid, it's like, it's ain't the same damn thing, man.
It is. It's the same.
Yeah. And that's like my wife. She do not eat spaghetti, but she eat the heck out of some goulash.
It's weird.
Or one of the kids in the house, they don't eat hamburger helper. Okay, well, it's noodles and beef and hamburger. Like, you don't like hamburger or noodles, but they eat a pack of ramen noodles all day. Like, what's the problem here? There's too much picky stuff. You don't eat and go make a sandwich.
As a kid,
You know?
it's funny, man. I can remember all the silly stuff, man, I did and thought. Like,
And think about the microwave too, though, Ken. Now, it wasn't really a microwave back in the day, so whatever you had, it wasn't just popping in. You know, they call it TV dinners where you had to throw it in the oven. It took an hour just to warm that TV dinner up. Now everything, 2, 3, 4 minutes, and you got a meal. So, you know, I think that's a big thing too, man.
You touching on it nowadays. Those are all the little
Yeah.
examples, man.
Yeah,
These kids
man.
don't understand. They don't know nothing about black and white TV.
Oh man, they used to put we used to go to my grandmother's house. They used to put a colored film in front of like a green one or a red one in front of a black and white TV to make it a color
Get some
TV.
color.
That was crazy, man. But I remember seeing that as a little kid, you know.
funny.
But then when the family, my great grandma first got her color TV, everybody used to flock to go watch
Yeah.
that color TV because that
We
was
got our first color TV. I was like, damn, some color.
yeah,
Shit, cartoons in color.
yeah.
Shit, you can watch Tom and Jerry in some color, some Popeye in color.
Now that's just an automatic thing. Like, black and white. What do you mean? Like, I never heard of
show
that.
one of these kids a black and white TV. I'm gonna show y'all. I need to see what it is.
Do they know how to use a rotary phone?
Hell nah. With the cord, they don't know nothing about dragging it from room to room.
Yeah.
You know, ain't no cordless phones, man. You on the phone, your mom on the other phone telling you to get off because you only got one line. Ain't no 2-way, 3-way.
Yep.
None of that
Those
crap,
cell
man.
phones and all that
That's
stuff.
right. I remember when internet first came out, it was dial up.
Yep.
It was,
You know?
yeah.
Remember, I know you remember this, Ken. You get a quarter, you can go buy a bag of chips, a candy bar, a soda,
Yeah.
9 laters, and have some pennies left over to buy more candy. Penny candy. Off a
yeah.
quarter.
And now later with the big
Penny
long joints.
Right.
Now
I had
they're
like 12 of them in there, and they was big.
Now they got like 5 in the pack about this
And it
big
cost
now.
a quarter. 50 cents. I
Pack
said,
like
man.
this big now.
Man, y'all crazy, man.
Yeah,
Mike and
I
Ike's.
love it though, man.
Mike and Ike's used to be 10 cent, then
Yeah.
it went up to 15. Now they like what, 50 cent for a small little box?
It's weird to hear us talk about it, and I can remember my godmother and everybody saying, we used to go to the store with a penny and get a bag. I'm like, a penny?
Yeah.
You get
Now I
what?
know. We can get 2 for a penny. 2 for a penny? How you get 2 things for a penny? Like what? Yeah, but it was deals like that. Remember Tootsie Rolls and all that good stuff, man.
Yeah, I forgot that man name.
I'm glad to grow up in that era, though,
Yeah.
man.
The old
now-
man that used to have a store.
Penny store in the bricks.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I forgot that. I used to always
Down
go
there.
there.
He
Yeah.
was the last one standing,
Yep.
man.
He used to go there and rack up. He had his little store right on the side of the other store. Yeah.
He's the last one standing.
Yep.
You get you some penny
You
candy.
get
At least
some
a nickel
penny
get you a whole bag.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yep. Just some penny
But-
candy. He throw some extra in there for you.
But
Nickel,
you
now
know,
you,
it's
now
the-
you just get the bag for a nickel.
It's the value
Really?
of money, how it depreciates. And think like a $20 bill back then, you was kind of rich.
What? For
Yeah.
real.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
As a
And
kid,
I remember
wow, you can eat good.
my great grandfather, I cut down a whole forest and he gave me $1. This was probably like in the 80s, man. I didn't know the value of money back then. We cut down and we ain't had no chainsaw. We cut it down with a hatchet. So, and that's hard work, boy. I tell you, and I'm glad to be able to experience those times.
Yeah.
You
know.
appreciate that when you get older, man.
Yeah,
That gives
I
you
would never
ethics,
put
man.
my kids through that, what I went through as far as on that angle, but
But do you think, I'm glad you said that, I don't mean to cut you off, Quest, but do you think that's one of our problems, man? See what you just said? You wouldn't want to put your children through something that actually gave you some substance, gave you that you had?
I think
I think we've been too soft on our children, man,
There we go.
because of what we've gone through. It's like, well, I can make it a little easier for my children.
Right.
But is it really is it harboring them? See, is it helping them or hindering them?
I think it's hindering them because, like you said, we fought to go outside and play. We had to have our chores done. We had to get our school clothes. We had our homework done. Yeah. We had to have everything correct before we go outside. Now they stay indoors and nothing get done. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Like, you ain't got to do no chores to go outside because you ain't going outside.
And it's certain, I mean, some of the things I wouldn't want my kids to do, but yet I still let them know about them. Mm-hmm. They still know, hey, look, this is what I went through. You getting a break right now.
Right.
You know, but this is what I went through. Mm-hmm. This is, you know, what we had to deal. This is what I dealt with.
Right.
I'm stuck in the middle, man. Look, I try to learn from my mistakes. Like my older children, you know, I was kind of lenient, and I see for me, and again, we're all different. So for me, I see it's like, damn, man, I think I kind of made them lazy. They don't have that same drive that I have, man, and it worries me because it's like, if I'm not here, what are you gonna do? You know, I don't see that drive, man. So my next set is like, you know what? I'm going to make them do a little more, man. I can't give you all that leniency because from what I see out of the older ones, it kind of made them lazy or dependent more on me. And it's like, hey, you have to grow up and have that drive in you. I can't give it to you. Right. See, that comes from within, man.
That's the difference between being a younger parent and an older parent. Right. You know, you're the same person. Like, if I had a baby today, I would probably raise that baby different than I did my older ones, you know, because an older parent, you're more lenient. I probably, you know, when I was growing up, we had more, you know, butt whoopings and discipline and structure and punishment, and I can't go outside and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But now, like I said, kids don't care if they go outside or not. They don't even want to go outside, you know. And like you said, it's you know, the babies, you know, I probably wouldn't spank my baby now because I'm older now. I know you can teach them. Everything's a teachable moment now versus, I'm just, you know, strict and hard and sergeant and, you know, sergeant towards your kids.
And I honestly think I probably would still spank my kids. I mean, hey, just because I let them know, like, hey, I didn't like it as a kid, but you know what? It helped me grow. Mm-hmm. Ain't nothing wrong with a good old fashioned ass whooping.
Right.
So, you know, even I go through, me and my wife argue all the time about it. You know, I say, you know, my grandkids get of age, they gonna get that same thing. Mm-hmm. You know, I may not be as rough, but they still gonna get it. Right. You know, I just always believed, and again, it was just because how I was raised and brought up, I never want my kids to feel, regardless of what I do for you or how much I do for you, once you're on your own and out here in this real world, I don't want you to think everything is just handed to you. Mm-hmm. Right. You have to survive. Yes, you have to go out here
that's what I was getting
and work for what you want. You got to get on your grind. You got to go out here and get it. You know, so I always try to drill that in their heads, no matter what I did for them. I always, you know, like Seldom said, I try to let them know I'm not always going to be here.
Right.
I need to know you can survive. You will be able to make it on your own.
Right.
You know, not on your own, meaning just by yourself, because I always, you know, want my kids to stick together.
Right.
But be able to stand on your own too, and you know, take care of your responsibilities as a young man, as a young woman.
That's real.
I want you to be able to do that. You know,
because I got a grown cousin right now. You know, not to put his business out there, but like he was the only child, and I just, you know, he almost 60.
Mama always did for him.
Mama always did for him, and now she's not here anymore, and he has a hard time doing a lot of basic things that he should know already.
Yep.
And that kind of hurts me because I sit there and try to tell him, and he don't want to listen to me because he's older than me and being stubborn. And I'll be like, man, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, no, man, no. Everything I say, he go against it because he don't want me. He don't think he can learn anything from me. You know, because my my family was different, like you were saying. Excuse me. You gotta get out there. My father told me, you had kids, you gotta take care of them.
Mm-hmm.
Go out there and cut some grass, rake some leaves, make some money. It ain't I ain't always got $1 to give you. You can go make you $1. But in his situation, if he needed that $1, Mom needed $1. Boom, here's $10 or whatever. You know what I mean? It's always his whole life for 50, almost 60 years. Mm-hmm. So now,
not knowing
that handicapped him.
It was crippling him.
So it's good to let these kids experience a little on their own. Mm-hmm. Go get them summer jobs. Go, put them to work. All right, this is how you do some breaks, son. Or whatever. Show them other little side hustles that they can. You can always make $1 doing something. Whatever it was. Even like now with me today, my pops, he was a DJ when I was a kid. So I wasn't thinking about DJing, but I bought DJ equipment and I do it on the side now. Like that was something I just learned as a kid. Like, oh, this is something people want, little DJs and this and that.
One of those skills you can put in your back pocket.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying. You got to have some skills, man.
Yeah. And then, even like, it's a lot of things like that. Whether it's washing cars, tinting windows, or whatever. I did whatever.
Shouts out to DJ Slice. He the one who really got me to DJing. Because, he was the first one I really seen. Him and actually Genuine Ray C, man.
Oh, they nice.
Was the first ones I really seen getting busy doing it. I'm like, yo, this is all right.
Yeah, it's just because it's fun.
This is pretty cool. Taught me how to install decks and all that.
Now
the tent I never quite got. Mine was my tent was too bubbly. I just couldn't get I couldn't get the bubbles out.
We go to Dirty Days, get a car. First thing you put on there is tent. But back to the DJ thing. Now, when I lived down Hall, I want to say it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 7 DJs lived on the same street. Like from EJ, like you said. Remember DJ Grand Ace, Slice, my father. I wasn't even a DJ back then. I was just, but I'm just saying like that we all kind of grew up together, and I still see a lot of them still doing it to this day.
Yeah.
And they are all our age now, and you back then, of course, you ain't seen no 50-year-old rappers and DJs back then because it was a lot of this stuff was still new. But now we done grew up in it, and now you see gray bearded MCs out here now, and it's and I see why now. They can say, "Oh, they washed up." No, they're not washed up because I know a lot of great MCs out here that nice, and they in their 50s and almost 60.
I actually had a guy at my job. He about probably early 60s, late 50s, early 60s. I actually DJ'd a party for him, and that actually inspired him to want to DJ. He actually came up to me and asked me about getting some equipment and wanting to DJ and stuff. And now he try and do he do a little DJ. So I mean,
because that's what we grew up around. Skills, hands on. A lot of stuff that we enjoy doing. And I enjoy doing it. I enjoy, just entertaining people and just, excuse me, see people smile, have fun, laugh. That's just, the thing I enjoy, man. It's a self, gratification for me. But yeah, man, I love this platform here, man. This is like a dream for me. And I'm just glad for y'all, having me here today because this is like history in the making, man.
It is, man. We appreciate you coming through, man. I was going to touch on a lot of other subjects, but I kind of felt it was going to turn into like some kind of reunion thing, man.
You got that open invitation, man.
All day, every day,
that's
man.
anytime. And like I said, I feel definitely once we get the urban focus up and going, man, that's just going to bring – I'm hoping to just bring more of us out of the woodworks, bring more of us together, because that's really what I want it to be intended for and I want it to be about. I want these kids to be able to see, a group of black men coming together without nonsense, putting their heads together,
Right.
and talking and doing something positive. So, I really, once we kick it off, man, I really think it's gonna be something special, and we just gonna.
Especially the OGs, man. You guys in Syracuse, New York, come on, you know who I'm referring to. I can scream out some names. Hey, one was supposed to come through tonight, Vinny G. Come holler at us, man. We got Hines back out here. Come talk to us. I'm talking about people who've actually been out here, have some experiences, man, some ups and downs, who can actually speak their truth, and the youth today, man, can actually hear what we've gone through, how we've been down, how we've gotten back up, and how we've actually accumulated some wealth or knowledge, whatever we can pass down to you. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm just here to tell you the truth, man. You can pick it, pick it apart. Just take what you can accept, man. Take what you can learn from, and just grow from it. Right. If I could help somebody, if I could say something, man, that's going to reach somebody where it clicks, I feel like I've done my job. I'm not going to reach everyone, but it's just those one or two, man, where you say those words and it kind of sticks in their head. It clicks, something just clicks. That's all I'm trying to do.
Say reach one, teach one.
Yeah, just to have, it's good to be there just so somebody can have somebody to look up to, too, because people we had to look up to wasn't always, positive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the fact that we have now, people you can look up to that's positive, that's a great thing, man, because positive going to lead to positive, more positive, And because, we used to have little youth centers and stuff when we got out of school and this and that. Now it's like they probably empty. I haven't been in one in a while, like empty. Southwest or Brighton Family Center, all these little places.
Southwest still holding on kind of strong, but,
Well, what are they really doing for the kids,
still,
though?
I'm about to say, and that's my point. It's still now it gotten to the point where safety, they being more cautious. So, it's almost like they're afraid of these kids today, and we gotta somehow try and reverse that, because to me, and again, it's just my opinion, if that mentality keep going, moving forward into the future as these kids get older, man, this world is gonna be done. Yeah, because these kids gonna
direction.
In that aspect, I do point the finger at the parents. Look, I do think that part is our job. That's not the teacher's job. It's not the teacher's job to teach your child respect and how to act, out in public. That falls on the parent. Again, for me, if my child acts up in school, does anything, trust me, I'm showing up. You don't even got to second guess it. My child will see me, and I don't give a damn, teachers, whoever's looking at me, man. There's going to be some consequences. Right. That's just me, and that's what my children understand. And I just feel like if these parents instill that in their children, where, hey, man, I'm showing up. You can say whatever, think you about to get away with it. I'm showing up. I think these children will understand, because you got to respect somebody. And most of the children don't respect their parents, and that's where I don't get that.
Well, because a lot of the parents are scared of their kids.
Yep.
Is it that, or are they scared?
Man.
The law?
It's the law. The law
made it to where they can, if they did something, they get in trouble. Like if a parent will get in trouble, you jump on them.
See, and I'm one of those parents where it's like, okay.
Exactly. That's how I was.
Man, but they scared of them because them kids know that phone number. And
we need more than that. Like my mom used to say, you got to make it to the phone.
Right.
You got to make it to the phone.
See, we was from that era where, that phone was on the wall in that other room, but now they got a phone. They got a phone on them,
man. Look, I hand them the phone to my
kids.
Call, homie.
Yeah.
Trust me, by the time they get here, they'll see what's up.
But see, what it's going to do is expose, it's going to invite them people into your home, first of all.
It is what it is.
And it's going to expose a lot of other things that's going on.
They're coming anyway. If you don't do anything, they're coming to get your kid
they're
and
gonna
take them somewhere.
Yeah.
So it's like, either way, they're coming. And now you got to go to some parent course, regardless if you do something or you don't.
Right.
So I'm just like, hey, I'd rather do something.
Exactly.
Right. I'm going to have to go through it anyway.
I tell my kid, better me than the police.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. Yeah. But like you said, for us, it's a lot harder, and I know we running over, but for us, it's a lot harder as males, black males being fathers, because they don't see that in the school system.
Right.
When a father, and I experienced that going to school for my child. When I show up, they looking at me like, "What, you here for who? Like you a dad and you're here? Like that don't exist in households. Like, you know, when a father is foreign,
right?
You know, you
looking for the mother.
Yeah, they thinking it's a mother gonna show up. Nah, you know, me being a father, so like, wow, like,
and it's gonna be a whole different approach when
Yeah.
you come in too. It's not
Exactly.
just like mom coming cussing everybody out. Dad gonna come there and get to the bottom of what's going on. You know, like how dad gonna do, and whether it's respectful or not, he gonna get to the bottom. Mama just ready to cuss somebody out. She don't. You don't do that. That's my baby. Dad gonna be like, what's going on here?
exactly.
What he need to do in order, you know, I mean, try to solve the problem. To me, that's just coming from a man's point of view. That's why we do need the women here to.
But I mean,
You
it's
know, but-
he or she. Because I had that incident where my daughter had an altercation with a teacher. The teacher was constantly harassing her, and he wasn't even the teacher. He was like the assistant teacher in the classroom.
Okay.
To where it bothered her so much where she didn't want to go to school. So it was all right, let me go find out what's going on. So again, I come to the school. They're shocked because it's a father, for one. And we're all having this meeting, and this guy's talking, trying to talk about, as a parent, you know your child. Right. You know what your child do, what your child don't. Yeah, there's some things they probably try and sneak by you, but you more or less know when they telling the truth and when they lying.
Right.
So as this guy's talking, my daughter's sitting there, she's crying, hyperventilating, like everything. So I just stopped him. I said, listen, so you see how my daughter's reacting right now? I said, I already know she's telling the truth. So he's looking at me like, well, she's just crying just to make it look good. No, she's not. So when my daughter looks like this, that means she's telling the truth. She's so upset that no one believes her. This is damn near a cry for help. Right. I know my child. So there's nothing you can say to me right now.
Right.
There's nothing you can say to me. So, I mean, that conversation quickly went left, and where basically, hey, like I told him, I have to come to this school again. Dude, I'm not talking to you. We going to tear this school up.
Right.
You know, it was to the point where they put him in a whole nother class. So they didn't have to worry about him no more. But it's just, like you said, when a father comes, a father want to know what's going on. Right. I'm not coming here raising no hell.
I'll get to the root of the problem.
Yes, right. Unless you make me raise some hell. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I'm going to let you know, son, daughter, what have you, you're not going to disrespect my child like that. Right. You know, a father is in a household, and a lot of them do that because they feel there is no father in the household. Ain't nothing but a woman. She's just going to come up here, yap. And, you know, and that's it. A lot of them do feel that. So once they see that father present, oh, yes, father's in the house. Father's in your face. Yep. Father's letting you know about his child.
Right. They don't expect you to be there.
Yeah. And that's, you know, I think a lot of these kids today, man, I'm not going to say they have role models. They don't have role models. I'm going to say they have the wrong role models. They're looking up to the wrong things. You know, we touched on it before, all this lean and all this other crap. I don't even know what the heck it is now that they, you know, all this crazy stuff. Man, I mean, all this mumble mouth rap, I barely even listen to it. You listen to rap now.
I mean, some of it sound good. It's about how it sound. It ain't even really no substance.
But yeah, I mean,
that's what's missing.
It's for the beat.
Sound.
There's nothing.
Yeah, it's the substance that's missing.
There's nothing behind it. I mean, the kids can talk about our music, stuff we did, but at least there was a message behind the music.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Even NWA with all the bitches and all the shit they talk, they still had a message behind that music.
Right. We knew where they're coming from.
Exactly. At least we had something, we said something that was with a purpose.
And it didn't all sound the same.
Exactly.
Right. Everybody was different.
Yeah, I could put on 10 tracks. I wouldn't know who's who. It's like, hey man, it's like the same 10 songs.
Auto tunes. If we all made a song with like auto tunes, we all sound the same.
Right.
And even though our songs are different, they still sound the same. Like it's just moved into that.
Yeah.
To that era.
And I had
now.
to realize that it's like, hey, it's their turn, you know, and this is what they like.
Yes.
You know, just like our rap, our parents looked at us like, what the hell is that? Nobody want to hear that hip hop shit.
And that's what I mean. It's like, is it really they turn? Because even look at like, let's go like Snoop. Snoop said he was doing a song with somebody. Said he got so used to hearing that where he started doing the mumble rap junk where he was like, hey, hold up, nah, that's not me. But then you still got your J. Cole's, Kendrick Lamar. They're
doing something different.
Yeah, they're not doing that.
They're the ones who are trying to do something different. But for the majority, it's their era, and they're going to do what they like, not what we like.
Right, and that's where we gotta, come in and say, yeah, that it's still good. It's still like, even like in the showcases when I heard different genres
exactly.
of hip hop,
It
was good to hear that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that. What was that one dude where he had the thing on
Yeah,
his face?
Complex.
Complex
Mothra.
Yeah.
I actually had him on my show the other day. I think it was Thursday.
Yeah. Now I never heard none of that before, but I'm feeling it.
Right.
Because
me too. Different, right?
It's
different.
It's moving into
Right.
You know how like rock and roll has its own thing, or country has its own thing. Hip hop has like evolved into that too now, and we have to accept that. Even though we've been around since it was boom batting on the table.
But hip hop, and that's the beauty. And actually, me and AJ yesterday, AJ Biggs, another legacy artist who he was up here with me. We was chopping it up, and like I was telling you, to me, that's the beauty of hip hop. Hip hop is like this big ass tree with so many different branches. Hip hop has so many different forms, so many different styles. It's not just one dimensional.
Right.
Hip hop is like is spread out. And the guy who you was talking about, Complex, I don't know if you paid attention when he was talking, telling his story. He actually is autistic.
Right.
And the music, this is a way for him to express himself.
Right.
And that's what really made me want to have that, that interview with him and really talk to him. So I'm like, wow, it gave me a different perspective, gave me a different understanding as far as, him. He really took me back and was like, wow, here's a guy with, a serious element and using music as his way of expression, and hip hop at that.
Right. And just like we call some things mumble rap. I think that's a harsh word because we had rappers that mumbled back in the days,
but you can
they
still
were tongue
understand what they would. Yeah,
like,
that
like
wasn't
Twister
mumble though.
and all those Bone Thugs and Harmony. They were like the originators of mumble.
But that's not mumble rap
That's
though.
because he like Bone Thugs.
No, that's just
we
speaking.
understood what they were saying.
I didn't.
That's just speaking.
You know who I'm in love with?
What the hell are they saying?
I'm in love with like the Migos, for instance. I love that. I like everything they put out because even though they do a lot of mumble, they still is the new age of what's out now, and I can still feel them. You know what I'm saying? Like
if you have the creativity behind it,
right? It's got to be creative. It's got to be some artistic stuff, not just some trash.
Yeah, right.
And who are we to say what's trash or what's not? But we know what when somebody put time and effort into it, being MCs and back in the days, whatever, all of us, we've been in the game so long, we know who put time in the stuff and who just made some trash. I ain't gonna call it trash because even some of the trash is making millions now. Yeah, because it's just.
But you're gonna know that is trash when. Can it stand the test of time?
Right.
It's gonna be the question.
20 years from 30 years from now, you're still gonna be able to play this.
We are majority. You can still put on some KRS, some Slick Rick, some LL, all of that stuff. MC Shan. You can put on all Fat Boys. All that stuff from the early '80s. Run
Golden
DMC,
Age, they call it.
Grandmaster Flash. We can put all that stuff on today, and you're gonna get heads bopping, whether you old or young.
Right.
the classic R&B stuff that our parents used to listen to. You put that on now, today, to this day, it still will make you get up. Oh shit,
right,
you know what I mean?
right.
You still gonna get up.
And that's
even
the
the
key right
younger
there.
kids will still get up.
Right.
I don't see that with a lot of this music today.
You don't think it'll last
Nah,
like 20,
it's not
30
gonna-
years from now?
Nah, I don't
They
think
be like,
it's
"Oh,
gonna
here go,
last the test of time.
Here goes so-and-so. I can't even think of a song that you would play 30
Yes.
years from now. But
my thing
we'd
is-
probably be like 80. But like, oh, man.
Even like now, we can, like I said, we could throw on some LL, some KRS or something, and you know, my nephews over here might be like saying, "Hey, Dad, what's that? Like y'all listen to that?" But I guarantee you, once it actually sank, that beat hit her. Hey, Dad, that's kind of nice, because you know you can actually via something that, like I said, it stood that test of time to where it was relevant back then, and it still can evolve and still be relevant today.
That's what I was going to ask you. Like, do you think, like, the music is going to go in a full circle as far as hip-hop going to go? Is it ever going to come back to the golden age
I
again?
think so, because you still got, like I said, when you got your J. Cole's and Kendrick Lamar's, as long as you still have some of them in that bunch, I think it will do a circle.
Okay.
I really do.
I mean,
Because like they are the ones who's doing it now. They're you know.
I just think they're kind of the last ones from our age, man. I think they're just the kind of the leftovers. They just picked it up because it's a dying breed, man.
right. What about the consciousness?
I think
in
some
hip-hop?
will, man.
Do you think that's ever going to be, like, I remember how, like, we had our
stories
Yeah,
and
because
meanings
don't get me
behind it,
wrong.
man.
There's some out there now. They're just getting overshadowed. Not overshadowed. They're getting all the mumble mouth.
They're not
rap.
popular, right.
Yeah, all the mumble mouth rap is kind of overshadowing it
It's all
right
about
now.
trap music now, man.
Right,
Yeah,
or
it's
what's
about being
what
in
they
trap.
putting the money behind?
Right.
They putting the money behind the violence,
Right.
The ass, the shaking the ass,
Yeah.
whatever. They put money behind that. They're
That's
not
what's
putting
making the
money
money.
behind knowledge and upliftment,
Right.
like the era we were, grew up in. Because that's, I still like to this day I write like that, try to uplift and knowledge or whatever.
You won't hear anything close to self-destruction or any of Public Enemy music. You won't get close to that today, man.
Right.
Without
Who-
the Kendrick
E-
Lamar
yes.
and the other ones. Without taking
Right.
them out the picture.
And they
you're not
nasty
And which is
with
funny-
It. They are nice.
Even with the couple years ago, they tried to do it up here. They did a 315 self destruction,
Oh, okay.
and it was horrible. It was horrible.
Flop.
Ooh, I don't remember that one.
And believe it, they did a video. It was on YouTube. The shit was so much trash you can't find it on
Be
YouTube
looking
now.
it up
So-
now.
You can't find it.
Yeah, I'm
got
gonna have
to
to
see
look
it.
that up.
Your
too.
boy,
real,
Mr.
man.
Seth Marcel, he might have it. He was
He's
up
the one
in
who
it.
did it. I think I do remember that
Quay,
guy
I think
that
Quay
said
was in
man.
it too. Quay was in it. It was a couple of different ones up in it, but you had some. I think where they fell short is a lot of the newer rappers who were on it, they didn't let them hear the song to know what it was about. Because those who knew what the song about try to mimic, try to keep that same
Right.
persona going of the song. So you could tell who knew what self-destruction was about and those that didn't.
It went off.
So
course.
instead of educating them on the song, they
did a
just
verse.
Right.
just threw them on. So it was like I said, it was short lived. It was they did a horrible job at it. But if you actually look it up, you'll find some in Jersey. They did one. It was called Self Destruction 20 something. They did a nice one.
Okay.
Mimic. It was real nice. So I was like, damn, that it was damn near better than the original.
Okay.
That's how good it was. I was like, yo, they did their thing.
Okay.
But yeah, they tried it here. It fell short. It really did. It fell short. But they don't do nothing like that. Remember, and it's sad, man, because they don't even. And I'm gonna have to bring it back out. I'm gonna start doing it myself. Remember when Curtis Blow, Fat Boys and them, they had the Martin Luther King song. Every year when Martin Luther King, birthday was coming around.
King,
They played that.
celebrate
Yeah,
one,
they
celebrate
played
that.
that song. You don't hear kids don't know nothing about that now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's like
pulling together. Everybody's
Yeah.
for self now, and it's just I'm the baddest and the biggest and this and
Bro,
that.
just the violence around here now, man. You got 3 people getting shot the other day. I think you said they were making a video.
Yeah.
Like, who? It's just
What?
man. I don't
Senseless,
get it, man. I
What,
just don't
what
get
sense
it,
do that make? Like, y'all always say, "Oh yeah, put the Q's on the map," but
Right.
that's not how we want to
Right.
be on the map.
Right.
Off
Exactly,
that,
yeah.
we are trying to be like Chicago is not a bad city itself, but it's all the publicity. Bad publicity is getting. Chicago is one of the largest black cities in America, along with Atlanta and all that too. But all you hear is the violence and the bad stuff from it.
Yep.
And, you know, same like with the Q's. The Q's, all you hear is about the bad and the poverty and the,
Chicago too cold for me. It goes.
but you know, it's like
Go.
black folks got a lot of juice there. You know, I think is that where Obama came from,
Yeah.
or did he live there?
Yeah. Remember, he was the senator,
governor or something,
yeah,
or-
before he became president. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
so-
was, in Chicago.
But you know, I hear a lot of people go there and travel there and have a great time there and this and that. You know, same like with the ATL and all that. But Syracuse got a lot of work to do, man. The poverty here and the separation here is just gone. It's way out of control now.
And you know what's sad, man? Syracuse actually got a lot of good, rich history, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good history in Syracuse. If people actually really sit back and do the research and look, Syracuse was popping back in the day.
Yeah.
Syracuse was the shit.
We had a NBA team and everything.
Sure did.
Syracuse was popping.
And now who are they now? Philly,
I
right?
think Philadelphia
Yeah, the 76ers. Yeah, they was here for
No.
that.
And it's like a lot of people, youngsters wouldn't know that.
Nope.
They wouldn't know anything like that. And you know, we here for we're gonna teach them as long as we can, man.
Right.
You know.
Gotta teach it before we go on, man. Somebody
Yeah,
gotta do it. We
let's
gotta
get
pass it down. I always say that too. If you don't pass it down, it's lost.
Right.
So you can't let somebody else teach your history, man. You have to pass it down.
Right. Hear the real, because that's what our grandparents and did, you know, or parents did
Right.
for us. They showed us the way and let us see our family. You know, you don't see too many family reunions like you used to, or just get-togethers on holidays
And that's the truth, right?
and all that stuff, man. Like cousins walk past cousins, don't even know they cousins.
Yeah, we was just talking about that.
You know,
It's
so,
crazy.
It's very sad, man. But we're gonna have to
And yeah.
finally come to an end, man.
Yeah, 'cause it ain't going on
Again,
now.
I knew this was gonna be like a reunion, man.
I was
'cause
just about to
it's
say,
30
yeah.
plus years in here, so we just reminiscing going back.
Yeah.
I really didn't get a chance to dive into my my truth serum, because again, I was gonna tell some of my truths. You know, it's a lot of things I want to get off my chest and really get people to open up and understand that, hey, we're not perfect.
Right.
You know, I'm just here to try to teach my mistakes, man. If you can learn from them, if you can gain something out of it, then that's what it's all about. So I
Continue
want to.
next week.
Yeah,
I was about to say continue tomorrow on nowadays, but I forgot we switched
Yeah,
from
nah,
Sunday to Saturday. I was about to say
No, we're gonna continue
we
next
get up
week, man.
tomorrow.
Because again, your niece made me remember some things, man. You know, sometimes you just want to forget some people, man, or at least some things that you've done, and then I guess she was having a problem. I'll tell the story. She was having a problem with somebody at work, and then she asked me if I knew somebody. And I didn't know the person by the real name. I was like, nah, but the last name sounds familiar. And then she said the name that I knew her by. And it's like, it's like just bring back all the things that she wanted to forget. And I was like, I forgot about that one, man. So we're laughing and joking. I was like, hey, some things you just want to forget. And that one, I forgot until you brought it up. Like, it was really gone, man. Wow. So that's my truth. I was going to speak on it. Sometimes you try to suppress some images, man. Just some things you want to be like, hey, and she just brought it all back. Now it's in here again. Now I got to take about another 30 years to forget.
Did you take that one for the team? What was the one?
I did, man. I took it for the team.
Wow.
Forgot about it.
Dang.
'Cause normally those are the ones you want to forget about. The ones you
Like,
take
hey,
for the
don't
team.
you tell
man.
nobody.
Dang.
I had to tell her myself, man. It's all good. I say, hey, again, I can tell my truth, man. It is what it is. But again, we like to thank you guys, whoever tuned in. I'd like to thank you for tuning in. I apologize for our radio station. I'm gonna have to take a look at that. I don't know why it was actually freezing on us. If it from now on, again, who's ever on the YouTube, let everybody else know if you listen to our radio station. If it ever goes out again, you can always join us on a YouTube channel, C2C Indie Radio, also on all platforms. Facebook is C2C Indie Radio 1. And again, please join us for our other podcasts. You get to ride at 5, Monday through Friday with Blacksmith 247. What else? Tell them about what else we got, Blacksmith.
Thursdays, right here on Talk Sports News Station, we got Family Affair. That starts at 6 to 7 with your hosts, Naquan and Darnell. Then we got Fridays, Comedy Poetry, the No Name Podcast. Obviously, a lot of people know about that with your hosts, Mike Terry and Jackson. Also, we have every other Friday, which will be coming on this Friday, the 15th. A Few Perspectives, hosted by JP, King Black, and Bub. They are hilarious. Make sure you definitely tune in for that one if you want some laughs, man, because they don't hold no punches, and they have no filters, man. They let it go.
Check out the first one, and that starts at about 8 p.m.
Yep, 8 p.m. on Fridays.
We also have a new one that may be coming up. We have another person who does our interviews, KJ Slay. I believe he wants to start his own podcast. He may be introducing his first one on Halloween, coming up on Halloween, so stay tuned for that. Please stay tuned and check out our monthly showcase with Legacy Artist Productions. That is coming up on 24th, Sunday, at 1:30 p.m. And that would be live streamed on our YouTube
channel, yep,
and also on Facebook. So we're going to try to start going live on YouTube and Facebook.
And also on the Rap Hip Hop East Coast station. You can tune into it on there as well. So, you got a couple options, man, where you can definitely tune in, to what we have going on. We got a lot going on. We're growing every day. And, like we said, this is for you. This is for the people. We're here to create and give you an opportunity.
And again, if you have any females out there who are willing or want to have their own podcast, please get in contact with us, C2C Indie Radio at gmail.com. Let us know your ideas. We would love to have you join the staff, man. Join the family, I should say, because we call it C2C family. We would love to have you join the family. So we need a female podcast, whether you do comedy or you just want to talk current events or you just want to shoot the breeze like a few perspectives.
Yeah, with your girls.
Yeah, come join the family, man. We need some female perspectives on the show.
Yes, and a few perspectives will have a female chiming in on their conversation. So we hoping that will kickstart, some females wanting to get involved and, as Seldom says, speak their truth.
That's right. Again, I'd like to throw some fame out to MC Quest who came through tonight, man. We appreciate you, brother. As usual, like I said, this is family. We've been knowing each other for a long time, man. So this goes back. I appreciate him stopping in. I'd like to throw some fame out to my two sons that are here, Trenton and Jaden.
They getting the knowledge.
Yeah,
they
like
ready
to thank
to
them
go.
for stopping by. Yeah, they ready to go, man. Like, hey, Dad, this is long enough, man. So again, thank you for coming out tonight, man. I'll see you next week, Saturday, 7 p.m. on Nowadays with your host Seldom Scene, and Blacksmith 24/7 will be here, and maybe even Quest to stop in. He's welcome to stop in at any time. The door's open for you, brother.
Thank you, man.
All right, we out.
I appreciate being here.
Ain't nobody trying to stack nowadays. Everybody just wanna be where it's at nowadays. Real talk, that's a fact nowadays. Very few got your back nowadays. Chasing money ain't the same nowadays. A lot of niggas ain't the same nowadays. Flip game ain't the same nowadays. No, nothing ain't the same nowadays. Chasing money ain't the same nowadays. A lot of niggas ain't the same nowadays. Flip game ain't the same nowadays. No, nothing ain't the same.